Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Just gonna quickly transition off of this and go on to my
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの協力でお送りするであります。
Welcome to the stream,
強い者
everyone.
が勝ち、負けた者が去る。今宵我々は史上最も熱いドラマの
ペルソナ4ジ・アルティマックス。
So, hi. I am gonna put myself into rank. I am. So, if anyone actually wants to play with me, let's see if it's. Wait, nope. Problem is, obviously, Oh, don't do this. So, I've played this before. Oh, it revokes it. Really? Darn. I guess I can't play online. Well, there is no anyone online anyways.
あなたのお姿と受けたまわりました。
Okay. Let's do golden arcade mode then.
この牙城をぶち壊せるか。うちの邪魔するなら容赦せえへんね。
お前の行き着く先には CR のみ。
Oh, the bot's finally working.
恨みっこなしでよろしくお願いします。紹介や。状況はいいです。最後に仕掛けが欲しいとし当てられました。あります。
Oh, that's not working
主導
well.
権を取られてしまいます。立て直しを提案します。油断をしたらという立て直していただき逆転は十分可能であります。まだ逆転は不可能。やらせていきます。まだ諦めてない。なんという今は攻撃の意識あるのに。大丈夫ですか。
Oh god, I'm so low.
Game over.
と現実生死
よろしくな。
それでご分
Okay, let's go here. Let's start from 46 and try and
実力
play it back up.
発どうなるこの試合。
Are you ready?
イラッとなしでよろしくお願いします。バッチリです。状況はいいです。変化のきっかけが欲しいところです。やってられましたね。まだやれるで。いいですね。リードしてるのはこちらです。 ナイスなラッシュです。
I do seem to be losing a lot more
会場
XP.
は興奮状態だ。
Or HP. So, yeah. Well,
ちゃっちゃと終わらそう。
Are you ready?
共に戦いましょう。状況はいいです。変化のきっかけが欲しいところです。総攻撃開始。このままでは主導権を取られてしまいます。逃がさへんで。このリード逃がさへんで。広げていきましょう。ボッコボコです。やめといたらよかったの。様子のいい試合でしたね。運命のゴングまであとわずか。うちの邪魔するなら容赦せえへんよ。
存在ごと消し去ってやる
Are you ready?
姉妹のコンビネーションを見せるやります行きます私を待つつもりでありますか。ありがとうです。犠牲者のお願いまだだ繰り返しましょう。なら召喚シークをさせてここまでタイならもっと早く選んでこのまま勝利へいる作戦でタイならいなく追い込めましょう。タイなら反撃は許しません。
スクラップにしてやる
いい場所をやります。まだ行きましょう。ありがとうです。勝負が決まる。うちの勝ち。楽しい決戦でした。お疲れ様です。
sadly no one's online. And I don't have the rollback beta anymore.
言うか食われるか。 も知らんで加減はでけへんで
Are you ready?
実力発掘どうなるこの試合
The main antagonist of this series, of this
うちの邪魔するな
version
ら
of the game.
容赦せえへんよ
Oh, the black skin.
すっかりそちらに染まっ
Are you ready?
姉さんまだやれるで先手を取られてしまいましたしたいなら
召喚だ
行きます十分可能であります向こうに流れが下りかけて逆転劇の始まりです達成してしまったようですねバッチリです当てられましたねこのままで出るぜじゃあ
始まる
敵状態です
苦しい
Darn.
どうだ身の程を知ったか
もう少しだったのに
Lose. Game over.
I'm guessing a lot of people are actually on the rollback beta and I can't actually go on that. Because, well... doesn't allow me to. Let's look at some, oh, yeah, story illustrations, yeah. Because I haven't done the story. You know what? Let's go through Persona 4. Let's go through the original game. To understand. Let's go with you. Blue. Floor, the ceiling, the furnishing, everything is blue. It's quite unlike what I normally see throughout my day. And yet, my heart is mysteriously calm. I recognize the slight rumbling as an engine and realize that I'm in a car. Or rather, someplace else I recognize.
ようこそ我がベルベットルームへ。
The old man with the bizarre face sitting before me makes an expression that appears to be a smile. Sitting quietly next to the old man is a woman as beautiful and delicate as an ice sculpture.
おお、これはまた変わった定めをお持ちの方がいらしたようだ。
Hi? What? Hey? Did the bot just... Hi?
私の名はイゴール。お初
イゴール
お目にかかります。
Velvet Room? Igor. Even though I'm barely conscious, I remember that this is not the first time I've heard those names. Hey. Ah, I see. Yeah, you're still on that account. See, this is a dream. This happened in the past. I've been in this room before. You'll fix it later, yeah, that's fine. If my memory is correct, what he says next
こ
is...
こは夢と現実、精神と物質の狭間にある場所。本来は何かの形で契約を果たされた方のみが訪れる部屋。あなたには近くそうした未来が待ち受けているのやもしれませんな。
The words I expected to hear fall from the old man's mouth. I'm surprised that I still remember them. Another me, the one not in the dream, can't help but smile at that. Oh dear. I hope me getting my butt kicked in Persona in a fighting game would amuse you.
どれ、まずはお名前を伺っておくといたしましょうか。
I remember this too. When I said my name here, it forged a contract with them. And so I answer. You, Narukami. When I open my eyes, the light is so blinding that I have to squint. For a moment, I can't figure out where I am, and I look around.
そうか。戻るんだったな、あの街へ。
I mutter to myself and look out the window. The sky is somewhat cloudy, unfortunately, but the scenery is peaceful as always. It seems that I fell asleep on the train heading to the countryside, where I spent the last year in Inaba. There we go. Yep. If I recall correctly, when I first came to that town, it was an afternoon just like this. I dozed off in the same way back then and was summoned to the Velvet Room. Yeah, it's fixed. That was when Igor said that misfortunes would befall me, and just as he foretold, I was dragged into an outrageous murder mystery. That was no ordinary case. The Midnight Channel, Shadows, and Personas. The power of the heart. I saw things that could scarcely be believed. But I made memories that could never be replaced as well. Cute, how's my audio? Just like, like, can you hear me properly? Is game too loud? Just tell me, please. But I made memories there that could never be replaced as well. We gained the powers of the personas, and we suffered together. I stood with my friends on the investigation team against these misfortunes and fought against them. There's no way I could have overcome such ordeals without their help.
さて、みんな何をしてるやらだな。
Thank you. After solving the mystery, we decided that I could leave Inaba since my parents would be returning from overseas about the same time. Game good? Okay. It's been about 2 months since I last saw them all, as they said goodbye to me at the train station. I had decided to stay at the Dochima residence during Golden Week so that I could spend the holiday with my friends. Thank you. Of course, my uncle was happy to hear this, and his only daughter, Nanako, should be glad to see me too.
しまった。陽介の土産だけまだだな。
Game volume is good enough in voice. Okay. Thank you. Do you want the game audio down a bit or up, or do you want me up? Well, it is something quite particular, I guess. Actually, I'd rather receive a call from Teddy, one of my investigation team friends, this morning. The details of the conversation were a bit troublesome.
もしもーし、新生君な。
あ、どうした？
大変恐縮ですが、実はクマ、先生に大事なことを言い忘れてたクマよ。
Thank you.
愛すべきクマに、おそらく先生が持ってきてくれるであろうお土産を指定したいクマ。
Okay. Teddy, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to tell people what you want them to bring you as souvenirs. I already have souvenirs for everyone, but oh well. Sure enough, Teddy was only asking for some snacks that aren't sold in Inaba, so it wasn't much trouble. Ah, but there was one problem.
それと、陽介にもお土産を頼んでいいクマか？
まあ、もともと一人一人に持っていくつもりでいるけど。
そうクマ、陽介はお気に入りのナースさんをママさんに燃やされて毎日困っとるクマ。
Wait, what?
ププー、これが本当の焼きナースなんてクマ。
ナース？
じゃあね先生、ご本の話に決まっとるクマよ。お胸がプリーンってしてて、お尻がボヨーンってなってるナースさんの本クマ。
なるほどな。俺が買う。
おかしなこと言う先生ね。お土産注文は来る人が買うクマよ。
そう、分かったよ。ああ、それと明日の予定だったけど、約束の時間も早いし、今日帰ることにしたんだ。クマからみんなに伝えておいてくれないか。
なるほど。じゃあそれだけナースさんの到着が早まるクマね。先生、警官ですって感じ。陽介喜ぶクマよ。じゃあ待ってるクマね。
I'm a little worried now. I hope he isn't telling everybody something that would give them the wrong idea. Well, I should just call again once I get there. But in the end,
ナースか。
I wasn't able to pick one up for him. how can I put it? I feel bad for Yosuke if I gave him that magazine and every time he opened it, his friend's face kept popping up in his head. And I have to think Yosuke has his pride too. He doesn't need me buying him this stuff. Then again, this is Yosuke we're talking about. I'm sure he'll understand if I explain my reasoning. Probably.
次は安いなば終点です。
End of a line already? Looks like I've been asleep for a lot longer than I thought. Just as that thought came to me, a certain worry crossed my mind. If I had a dream of the Velvet Room, does that mean I'm going to be dragged into another adventure? No, I shouldn't think such things. I'm overthinking it. Igor had said I'm delighted to make your acquaintance after all, so it's nothing but a dream. It's quite misleading since I've had dreams of being summoned into that room ever since. The train begins to slow, and I take that as my cue to gather my belongings from the luggage rack above me. When the train comes to a complete stop and the doors open, even the smell of the wind invokes a sense of nostalgia. I think I'm going a little too sentimental. I'm getting a little too sentimental. I step out to the platform with a weary smile? Take a quick drink break. I'm standing in front of the train station, but this town is as quiet as it's always been. I realize that the sun has started to set and the orange sky envelops the world.
さてと、どうしたものかな。
Today is May 2nd. According to the calendar, the latter half of the holidays will begin tomorrow. I told Dojima-san that I was going to arrive today, but it seems he's been too busy with work to come get me. Ryotaro Dojima. He's my uncle. I stayed with him last year. He's a detective with the Inaba police. And he's raising his elementary school-age daughter, Nanako, by himself. It seems that he was suddenly contacted by a detective from the Metropolitan Police Department regarding last year's case and will have to work late. What happened last year was very serious, so I guess it's not too surprising he's so busy. He shouldn't have worried about it. I recall how apologetic he sounded over the phone and can't help smiling. I told him that I knew the way over from the station, but a bag packed with necessities and souvenirs for everyone turns out to be quite a load. Nanako must be waiting for me alone at the house, so I want to get there as soon as possible too. To be honest, I don't know when the bus will come. Maybe I should just call for a taxi. Just as I'm thinking this.
Nanako?
Nanako?
お兄ちゃん
It is Nanako. There's no way I'd mistaken her.
一人で迎えに来てくれたのか。
Why did she come to the station all by herself? True, the Dojima resident is within walking distance, but I couldn't have been easy for her. And even though it's still light out right now, it will get dark soon, and the country roads are barely lit. What would she have done if I haven't been here? I'm about to voice my concerns, but Nanako sounds slightly proud when she says,
平気だよ。お父さんにも言ったし、バスのお金ももらったもん。お父さん、お迎え来れないって言ったから、代わりにナナコが来たんだ。お兄ちゃん、おかえりなさい。ナナコ、ずっと待ってたよ。
そうか、ありがとう。ナナコに会えて俺も嬉しいよ。
I see. She must have wanted to show me that she's grown up too. She's around that age after all. For a moment I'm surprised that Dojima-san let her do this. But I can kind of imagine what kind of conversation took place. Nanako had always been a capable girl, but over the past year, her housekeeping skills have improved greatly, and she's proven herself to be very reliable. She takes the lead in many things within the house, and even Dojima-san can't compete with her sometimes. I can easily imagine the scene in my head. And it's true that I'm glad someone came to welcome me. I take Nanakon's hands and we begin walking side by side.
行こうか、ナナコ。家の冷蔵庫に何入ってる？
いっぱい。お兄ちゃん来るからお父さんといろいろ買ったんだ。
If Nanako says so, then he really must have bought lots. Dojima-san did say he'd pick up dinner for us, but if that's the case, maybe I should put together something to go with it. I asked Nanako what she wants to eat, and she looks back with a twinkle in her eyes.
お兄ちゃん、お夕飯作るの？ナナコもお手伝いする。
Nanako and I make small talk while we walk through Inaba together for the first time in a little while. Being here like this makes me feel as if I've gone back in time to a year ago. After we get back to the Dojima house, I hurry and unpack my belongings before heading to the kitchen. Nanako helps me out as diligently as she had claimed earlier. The way she mixes the eggs seems more skillful than before. You're such a good girl, Nanako.
こんばんは。5月2日イブニングジャーナル。まずは昨日起こった国内線ハイジャック関連のニュースからです。
The TV in the living room echoes through the house. Thinking back on it, it was on quite often in this place. When I first came to Inaba, Nanako was practically being raised by the television. There had been this odd sense of distance between us around that time. She hasn't started calling me Big Bro, and we didn't cook together like we're doing right now. It's the little things that bring back memories. Right as we were about done making dinner, Dojima-san arrives with some deluxe sushi. Nanako quickly gets up and rushes to the door. She seems so happy when her father comes home. Dojima-san apologizes about the sudden increase in his workload, and then we all sit at the table and began eating. Being here like this makes me feel like the 2 months I was gone never happened at all. There's a warm atmosphere, as if I've always been a part of this family and have lived here with them for my entire life. I thank both of them from deep in my heart, and after I give them the souvenirs I've brought for them, we enjoy chatting with each other as a family. Another familiar room. This is the room that was prepared for me on the second floor of the Dojima residence. Nanako had fallen asleep after all the excitement. After carrying her to her room, I tell my uncle that I'll be going to bed early as well, since I have plans. All he said was, okay, gesturing towards the second floor. I'm a little perplexed by this, but I have my suspicions, and as I open the door to my old room, it seems I was right. The room is no different than it had been when I was living here. It's exactly the same as it was when I left Inaba. I closed the door with a feeling of wistfulness. As I sit down on my sofa and consider my uncle's thoughtfulness, I sigh in exhaustion from the long journey. I'll be able to see my friends tomorrow. Considering that there are still several days left in this holiday, it may be nice to leave early tomorrow and go visit the shopping district. The time is just before midnight. In mere moments it will be a new day. Whenever it rains at night, I end up checking the time. While I spent the last year in Inaba, I was always checking for the Midnight Channel, which was a popular urban legend here in Inaba. It's a bad habit of mine even when I'm not here. If you look at a turned off TV at midnight on a rainy night, you'll see your soulmates. Discovering that this rumor was actually true was the first reason why I became involved in the murder investigation last year. But the person who actually appeared on the Midnight Channel isn't your soulmate. It's the next victim. After discovering this, we all nervously sat before our TVs on rainy nights in order to solve the case.
懐かしいな。今はもう映らないけれど。
Will nothing really appear though? I suddenly had doubts. Why would I think that? After we solved the case, we all confirmed that the Midnight Channel wasn't appearing anymore. The empty screen stays silent. So why? It's not going to turn on. There's no way. The more I think about it, the more I feel my resolve fading. I peer into the TV screen as if something is drawing me into it. The only thing I see is my reflection in the dark glass of the CRT television. Or so I thought.
ライバル、それは強敵と書いて友と読む。高校生同士の決死の格闘番組。新たな伝説が今幕を開ける。可愛い七子は誰にも渡さん。鋼のセスコン番長鳴神優。
当然です。
寂れた田舎を踏み台に大英雄に俺はなる。キャプテン・ブ・サンチマン花村陽介。退屈なものは全部ぶっ壊す。女を捨てた肉食獣。男勝りの足技系ドラゴン里中千恵。
肉を食べなさい、肉を。
私をリングに連れてって難攻不落の黒雪姫天城由紀子。
一撃で仕留める。
バラと肉体の狂い咲き。戦慄のガチムチ皇帝辰巳寛治。もっと奥まで見た目は子供、頭脳は化け物。 IQ2000 の KY 探偵白金直人。
バカ軍団ですか。
戦え、たった一つの生き残りの座をかけて。激闘 P1 グランプリ今宵開戦。なんだこれ。
鋼のシスコン番長。
Was that me? Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel. I'm impressed. There's so much wrong with that phrase, I don't know where to begin. No, I shouldn't be thinking about that. Those words aren't the problem here. I hurried you to make sure that the TV isn't plugged in. That was the Midnight Channel. What it was actually showing was rather ridiculous, but thinking back, everything the Midnight Channel showed last year didn't make much sense either. I'm suddenly gripped by tension. If the Midnight Channel is appearing again, I have to find out why. I pulled out my cell phone and searched for Yosuke's number.
陽介は花村か。
I quickly hit the call button. Does everyone know about this? Is everyone aware that the Midnight Channel is still being broadcasted? Do they know that it's showing us? That we've been given taglines that only be described as uncharitable?
はい、花村ですけど。
陽介。
いやー、突然でビビっちまってさ。なんだ、待ち合わせの確認か？
I can tell what's going on just by the sound of his voice. Yosuke knows about what's happening on the Midnight Channel just now, and he's trying to hide that from me. Considering that I've been out of Inaba for a while, I bet he's trying to keep me from worrying about it. There's no need for him to be concerned about that. Then again, I can kind of understand how he feels. I am his friend after all.
いや、そうじゃない。真夜中テレビを見たんだ。陽介も見たんだろ。
I can easily hear Yosuke panicking on the other side of the phone. He's probably surprised that I saw the Midnight Channel when I shouldn't even be in Inaba right now. He must be thinking that the Midnight Channel is now appearing on a national TV network. Looks like Teddy didn't tell them after all.
クマから聞いてないのか。明日早いから今日戻ることにしたんだ。俺も見たこと気づかないと思ったから先に電話した。
ね、だってお前こっちいないと思ったし、頼ったら悪いかなとか。
お前らしいけどな。で、ほっとくつもりじゃないだろう。キャプテン・ルサンチマンとしては。
覚えてんじゃねえよ。お前こそシスコン番長とか言われてんぞ。
まあ俺のはそこまで悪くないけど。
悪くないの？なあ、つうかさ、変なのはあの番組だけじゃねえんだ。クマもリセもカンジもいない。いなくなった。
For a moment, I'm at a loss for words. Not only has the Midnight Channel came back on, we've lost contact with 3 of our friends. I have a bad feeling about this. I can't believe that those 2 things are unrelated.
わかった。ともかく明日みんなで集まろう。
まあ、ジュネスのフードコートで。おかえり、相棒。
I'm suddenly reminded that I haven't even greeted Yosuke yet. I finally feel the sense of worry fade a little, and I answer with a smile.
ただいま。
No matter what has happened, our friends may be in danger. If that's so, then there's only one thing to do. Speaking of things I have to do.
あ、そうだ。お土産忘れた。すまん。
土産？いいってそんな気にすんなよ。
だって欲しかったんだろ。ナースの。
ナース？
I had a feeling he wouldn't get it if I didn't tell him flat out. This is rather hard to bring up, but oh well.
クマから頼まれて。 お前が燃やされてへこんでるって。
まさか。
知らなかった。ナースが好きだとは。
もういいってくそ、わざと言ってるだろ。てめえ帰ってくんな。
もういるし。じゃあ明日。
At least it seems he understands about his souvenir. In any case, the preparations have been made. Tomorrow, I'll meet with everyone to sort through whatever information we have on this situation. If we have to, we'll go back into that world. It'd be best if this was all just our imaginations. But unfortunately, we know that the Midnight Channel won't have appeared without a reason. I should make sure I'm ready for tomorrow and get some rest. This place is lively as always. I look across the food court on June's roof for the first time in a while. Even though there aren't many people in Inaba, this place is exceptionally crowded. Plus, because it's Golden Week as well, I feel like it's busier than usual. I happen to run into Yosuke at the elevators. We briefly greet each other. Guys are weird like that. The closer we are, the more simple our interactions when we meet each other face to face. The two of us step out to the food court. We immediately find Yukiko and Chie. They wave back at us past the playground area from the bench they're sitting on.
みんな久しぶり。
おかえり。会いたかった。ようやく本日の主賓様が来たね。元気そうで何よりじゃ。おかえりなさい。
ああ、真夜中テレビの件ならもうこいつも知ってるぜ。てかこいつの方から電話くれたし。
そうだったんだ。なんだか慌ただしい再会になっちゃったね。でも来てくれてよかった。
We chat some more while we all sit down. Then Yosuke stands up and clears his throat loudly. He's probably been waiting for the right moment to say something. He hasn't mentioned anything to me, but I can easily guess what he's about to say. We all look towards Yosuke.
じゃあ久々だっつうのに再び事件に当たっちまった相棒の帰還を祝しつつ、昨日の真夜中テレビ放送再開を受けてここに特別捜査隊を再結成します。
おお、再結成。その名前聞いたら燃えてきた。やるぞ。
いや拍手はおかしくね。
Why not? It's been 2 months since we last saw each other, after all. Chie and Yukiko start chuckling while I shrug, and though Yusuke seems saddened at that, he still ends up laughing along as well. It's a relief to see that they're the same as always, but because of that, it makes me even more worried about the friends that aren't here right now. We can't start slacking off. We begin to sort through the information we know about already.
さて、じゃあ始めますか。つうかのっけから割と笑い事じゃねえんだよな。連絡が取れないのは熊、幹事、リセの3人だな。
うん。あ、直人君には連絡はしたけど事件のことは言ってない。仕事で今日こっちにいないって聞いてたし、来らんないのに心配させてもさ、顔出せないの改めてすごい残念がってた。
If she has a reason for not being here and we can still contact her, then Naoto should be fine. That leaves Teddy, Rise, and Kanji. Not hearing back from them after an entire day has passed isn't normal at all. relationship between their sudden disappearance and the reappearance of the Midnight Channel last night disturbs me.
ちょっと気になったんだけど、昨日のテレビ映像すごい鮮明だったよね。
ああ、鮮明に映るのは被害者がテレビの中に入ってからってのが去年のパターンだな。
けどあんな大勢映るなんて初めてじゃない？第一あたしらまだこっちにいるし。てかなんであたしら？しかもあんな失礼なキャッチフレーズ付きでさ。
Chie seems pretty angry about it. Many of the locals know about the rumor of the Midnight Channel. In other words, this troubling broadcast has already been seen by who knows how many people. From what I've been told, the moment Chie tried to ask another student about the Midnight Channel, the other girl ran away with a look of fear on her face. It's no surprise that Chie would be angry. But in the end...
一番気になるのはクマだな。番組の中でも主催者のように振る舞っていた。
ああ、しかもそのクマが姿をくらましてる。
怪しい。まあわけもなくこんなはっちゃけた悪さしない気はするけど。
やっぱテレビの中入って調べるしかねえか。
That's right, go inside the TV. But everything that was the element that shook our common sense the most out of everything we experienced last year. Actually, the murders in the last year's event happened in another world inside the television. This world is filled with monsters called shadows. They are born from people's hearts. Because my friends and I gained personas, the power to defeat these shadows, we're able to enter TV screens and fight them.
けどクマくんがいないと出口もなくない？
But even we persona users would find it extremely difficult to leave that world on our own. In order to come back, we need the exit TV that our friend Teddy was capable of creating.
あの出口テレビは置きっぱにさしてんの。
うわ、用意周到。
だってさ、考えてみ。あいつがあっちにいねえ時にうっかり寝ぼけてテレビに突っ込んだりしたら怖くね？
んなどじいないって。とにかくそれならテレビの中に入って調べられるね。
No matter what the reason, it's reassuring to know that we have an exit strategy ready for us. To be honest, I almost fell into it the first time it appeared in my room after all.
ああ、向こうで何かが起きてるのは間違いない。みんな準備は？
できてるぜ。てか正直そうなる予感がありありできたしな。
We all share a look to confirm our intentions. All of them nod back, and I can see the seriousness in their eyes. Even though there was a 2-month gap since I last saw them, they still continue to put their trust in me. I feel a slight sense of pride as I stand up from the bench. The large screen TV in the electronics department is directly below the food court. That was the entrance we always used last year.
連休だし、さすがに客いんな。
なんだか街に活気が出てきた気がする。
つか久しぶりだねテレビ。ちょっと緊張する。うわ、ちょっとまだ周りに人がいるっての。
おい、今だ。客がいなくなんぞ。
行こう。
Sorry for asking, is there anyone in chat still? I'm so sorry. I hear a voice. It's a woman's voice. It sounds familiar to me. The voice is...
ようこそベルベットルームへ。
Hello, Margaret. I don't sense that distinctive floating feeling that I usually have when I enter the TV world. When I concentrate, I realize that I must be sitting in a chair. The moment I open my eyes, I see vibrant blue. The Velvet Room. I visited this place an untold number of times last year, and once more in my dreams yesterday. I never thought I would return to this place.
今度は夢じゃない。一体どうしたんだ。俺の契約はもう終わったんじゃないのか。
Igor, who usually sits front and center, is nowhere to be seen. The one to greet me is a woman with silver hair. Margaret. Could this be a personal summoning then? That happened a few times last year too. Margaret smiles as if she sensed my suspicions.
ここはお客様の定めと不可分の部屋。この部屋で全く無意味なことは起こらない。
I really need to get proper vocal training because damn, my throat is really scratchy right now. Been sneezing all day.
一度は旅の終わりを迎えたあなたが再びこの部屋を訪れる。それはあなたに再び問いかけがなされようとしていることの証。
問いかけ？じゃあやはり本当に事件が。
Another mystery has appeared, and we are about to be dragged into it again. Could that be what she meant?
これより先、あなたに降りかかるのはあなたの今を揺るがすもの。あなたは確かに一度扉を開いた。けれど万物は常に移ろい、一つところにとどまらない。あなたがかつて得たはずのものも時は移ろわせてゆく。あなたはそれらを今
一度思い返す。
The first thing that Margaret words stirred up in my mind is the sight of my friend's smiling face. Is that going to change? No, that can't be true. And face them again? That's impossible. Once I wake up and leave this room, I should still be with my friends. There's no need to jump to conclusions. But Margaret appears to have anticipated my thoughts and smiles while narrowing her eyes.
自身が開いた扉の先をどのように歩くのか。
My vision wavers and the blue light before me vanishes quickly. Wait, I still need to know what you mean by those words. Where did I get thrown to when I left that blue room? The scenery is so unexpected that I'm at a loss. This is a school. It's the music room of Isokami High. I attended the school with my friends until recently. There's no mistaking it. We entered the TV together, so why am I here? No, that's not right.
違うな。ここは間違いなくテレビの中だ。
The graffiti on the ground, shoes placed like they're for some kind of ritual. The eerie shining eyes on the portraits on the wall. The more carefully I look, the more I realize that this place is not the real Yosogami High. Most of all, I sense no warmth from this place, like I did from the students who come and go from here. This is a fake. It's definitely not the school I attended. But what happened to turn the world inside the TV to this? On top of that, we entered the TV from our usual entrance, but I ended up in a completely different place.
こんなことは初めてだ。
I also realized that my friends aren't with me either. Do we somehow get separated? I start to feel chills down my spine and look around.
お待たせしました。ハチ公ボーイズ&ガールズ T1 グランプリいよいよ開幕するよ。みんな今日は空気読み合いとかいらないし、本性むき出しでドカーンとやっちゃおう。
これは
I shout out questions, but she doesn't answer. This is Rise Kujikawa, one of our friends on the investigation team that we couldn't contact. Does she not hear me? Or is she choosing not to respond? As I ask myself this, I hear different voices echoing as well. I look around in surprise. These voices, it's not just from one or two people. I see countless students staring at me from the hallways, the entrance, everywhere I turn.
何？
はい注目。実況は私、みんなのリセチーだよ。まずは総統から大会開催のご挨拶。
What's going on? Why are there so many people inside the TV world? Before I can think of any answers, Rise makes another announcement. And as if on cue, the monitor in the music room turns on. What appears on it was Teddy. He was wearing a strange hat and cape, just like he did on the Midnight Channel last night. First Rise, and now Teddy. What are they doing?
のふふふふやってきたくまに。ではここに T1 グランプリの開催を宣言するくま。
Again. That's the same bizarre tournament that was shown on the Midnight Channel. Then, is Teddy really the one behind this insanity?
クマ、一体どういうつもりだ？俺たちはお前やリセを探しに。
先生の話は長いくま。まどろっこし。ごちゃごちゃ言っとらんと戦いんしゃい。対戦者出てこいくま。
Teddy looks away and makes a dismissive gesture. Smoke suddenly bursts out from underneath me and robs me of any visibility. Is there someone beyond that white curtain? Eventually, my field of vision begins to clear. I keep my guard up, expecting anything. But who should appear but Yosuke? Though I hadn't expected to run into him like this, I'm relieved to see that he's safe. Teddy did say something about a challenger just a moment ago. I recall that the P1 Grand Prix that appeared on the Midnight Channel looked a lot like some kind of fighting competition. Wait, am I supposed to fight Yosuke now? That's not funny at all.
やれやれ、参ったな。お前と俺が戦うんだそうだ。
へん、らしいな。たくクマなやつ、何考えてんだ。
出たくまね。仲間ずらしてぬるま湯にチャップンなんてさせんくまよ。
Give me a second. Yep, there it is, the lean.
この戦いはデスマッチ方式。勝者以外は先に進めんくば。
悪ふざけも大概にしろクマ。俺たちはそんな大会に参加する気はない。
I look over at Yosuke, hoping that he would agree with me, but he doesn't appear interested in what I have to say.
あ、そう？じゃあ俺の勝ちってことでいいんじゃね？
陽介。
だってお前戦う気ねえんだろ。だったら不戦勝で俺の勝利ってことで。
That was not what I was expecting to hear. What's gotten into you, Yosuke? Do you have some reason to be talking like this? I can't figure out what's going on. Yosuke continued to speak in a carefree manner and said something that I simply couldn't believe.
あ、でもそれって大丈夫か？ななこちゃんこっち来てっけど。
ななこが来てる。
お前会ってないの？ななこちゃん、クマと一緒だぜ。
That can't be. I saw Nanako back at the house when I left this morning. And even then, Nanako can't enter the TV world on her own. But she's in this world? I can't believe it for a moment. But what if it is true? Just coming into this world can tire a person out very quickly. On top of that, if someone who can't use a persona comes here, it can sometimes even be fatal.
どこだ？ななこはどこにいる？陽介。
なってどうしたんだよ相棒。急にそんな弾けんなって。
そっちこそなぜそんなに平気なんだ？去年それでななこがどうなったか知ってるだろ。
Nanako did come into this world once last year. It was not something any one of us would have wanted to happen. That was the start of a whole chain of events. Remembering them is heart-wrenching even now. So why? No, even then, I might be wrong. For me to lash out at Yosuke for the way he's acting? Calm down. I need to think straight here. All Yosuke said was that he saw her with Teddy. Then, was Nanako brought here by Teddy? If he's the leader of this tournament...
陽介、教えてくれ。ななこは確実にクマと一緒にいるか？
いや、んなの知らねえって。まあ多分今もいいんじゃねえのって話。つか大丈夫かよお前。そんなにななこちゃんが心配なの？そんなんだからシスコンとか言われて気持ち悪がらねえんだぜ。
The sense of wrongness that I've been feeling this whole time is getting even stronger. True, Yosuke may say some insensitive things, but mostly that's because he reads too much into a situation and acts out over it. He's not the type of guy to enjoy making hurtful remarks like this.
陽介、大丈夫か？
何言ってんだよお前。てかやべえのはお前の方だっつの。だいたいあの子マジの妹じゃねえだろ。お兄ちゃんとかキモいって。ま、俺が見たの結構前だしさ。もう手遅れだって、ななこちゃん。ほら、去年だってさ。なあ、
陽介。
He's definitely not the Yosuke I know. Yosuke is my friend. He wouldn't be so callous as that. At least I thought so, up until now. He was the only one who had to face the pain of losing someone he cared about when the murders first started last year. I couldn't hate him for accidentally mentioning someone who was dead, but the way he's acting, he's doing it on purpose. I silently draw my sword and face Yosuke.
構えろ、陽介。この戦い受けて立つ。
はあ？おいおい、何言っちゃってんのお前。不先輩だっつったのお前じゃんかよ。
To be honest, I've been thinking that this Yosuke before me was some kind of fake. I even wondered if something had happened to him, and Yosuke's shadow had appeared again in this world. But the strongness that I keep sensing is nothing like that. This probably is the real Yosuke. And the strangeness I feel is because these words really are coming out of the mouth of someone I never thought would say them. If so, then...
お前が操られているのか、それとも他の何かが起きているのか。だが、お前なら理解しているはずだ。この
There's no way to tell if what I'm saying is getting through to him at all. But if I want to figure out what's going on, I'll just have to fall for this trap once.
悪いが全力で行くぞ。恨みっこなしだ。
あれれ、なんだかんだ言っても結局相棒と殴り合いしちゃうんだね。ま、そんなことどうでもいいし、さっさと始めましょう。いくよ、レディー。
I don't have armrests on this chair.
Round final. Fight.
お互いと一番だ苦しいところですね。
頼むぜ。
さあ、ここで猛アタック追い込めるか。
これから
まだ一方的な展開になってしまった。少し下がってきま番狂わせは起きなかったようです。
先生、お見事くわ。その調子でビシバシ進んでいってくんさい。
Just checking a few things. Okay.
進んでまだ続ける気か。クマ、それよりナナコは。
むほほほほ、そいつはどうかな。知りたければここまで来てみんさい。ああ、理由は言えないけど、早く来た方がいいと思うクマよ。
The monitor shuts off. I still haven't learned anything about Nanako. But he did seem to have been expecting me to ask about her. I don't want to think about it, but Nanako really may be here. The moment the monitor turned off, the students began to leave like waves in the receding tide. No, they didn't look like students anymore. There's something inhuman just taking the shape of students. I was too focused on the fight to notice, but it seemed that true forms were coming through. They looked like silhouettes. Could they be shadows? Even so, I don't sense any hostility from them. Well, if there's not a threat and they're going away, there's no need to chase after them. Besides, there's something more important to do right now.
陽介、大丈夫か。
I'll walk towards where Yosuke lies collapsed on the ground and give him my hand to help him up.
いっつー、お前少しは加減しろって。マジで殺す気かっつーの。
そっちも同じようなもんだろう。加減してる余裕なんてなかった。
Yosuke is grimace in pain as he stands, but he doesn't seem to have suffered any severe injuries. That's good. I know I couldn't risk it going easy on him, so I was a little worried that I actually hurt him. But once we get a good look at each other, Yosuke's demeanor suddenly changes.
つーかですよ。ナースってうるせえっての。俺の頭ん中そんなナースばっかじゃねえっつの。
俺がそんなこと言うわけないだろ。
はあ？めっちゃ言ったろ。いきなり真顔でそっちの好みにダメ出しとか、どんだけド S だよ。ナース好きでそんなに悪いですか？
ちょっと待った。
I don't understand why he's suddenly angry, but he's not making any sense at all. I tell Yosuke to calm down and we go over what he had thought had happened before the fight. We learned that our memories of each of us has been saying didn't match up at all. Well, according to Yosuke, it seems that I'd been, teasing him about his taste in women. Yosuke was so heated up over that I'd supposedly said that he almost went into graphic detail, but I stopped him before things went too far. I mean, really, it's best for both of us if we pretended this never happened. But thanks to our conversation after the battle, I've come to realize something. If we've been hearing each other say things neither of us has been meaning to say, then...
陽介、聞きたいことがある。七子がこの世界に来ているのは本当か？
はあ？
Yosuke is at a loss for words. He had no idea what I was talking about. It's just as I thought. Yosuke doesn't know anything about Nanako. If that's true, then what I had heard Yosuke saying before the fight was something that Yosuke couldn't possibly have said. This only makes me more convinced that I have the right idea. What I have heard wasn't what Yosuke had meant to say. I don't know how, but something else had made Yosuke say those words, even if he didn't know he was saying them. That reminds me, Teddy on the screen had said that I needed to get to him if I wanted to find out the truth. Does that mean that Teddy had done this to us?
いずれにせよ、進むしかないということか。
Nanako is good friends with Teddy. I don't want to imagine it happening, but if he wanted to kidnap her, it's certainly possible he could have. I want to go home at once and check to make sure she's okay, but I have no idea where I am. Even worse, Teddy holds the means to return to the real world. There's no way out of here unless I find him on my own.
行くのか？
ああ。
気をつけろよ。
Careful, I'm worried about you. Do your best. I sense a lot of emotion behind those words. Yes, I know that now I'm hearing the real Yosuke. I take Yosuke's cheering me on to heart and leave the music room. Teddy had said that only the winner could go on in this tournament. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's possibly not a lie. Yosuke understands that as well. That's why he's trusting me to sort it all out and let me go without much talk. He's frustrated that he couldn't help me out. I could just be jumping to conclusions there. After all, Teddy did say that was the rule, but we don't have any proof either way. Well, I might as well see what he means by that. I stop walking and turn back to Yosuke.
なあ、陽介。例のナースのことなんだが。
だー、言うなっつってんの。まだおかしくなってんのかお前は。
Yosuke turns bright red and rushes towards me, flailing wildly in an attempt to stop me from finishing. And... there's a painful sounding noise as he runs into something invisible and slowly slides to the floor.
なんじゃこりゃ。
なるほど。見えない壁があるのか。負けた方だけは 部屋を出られない仕掛けだな。
It looks like there's some force that prevents the looter from leaving the area while the fight took place. It's likely that every time one of these battles happen here, the winner will get sorted out this way. That's annoying.
納得したよ。ありがとう。
If Teddy really has kidnapped Nanako, there's no time to lose.
俺で実験すんなってもう行くのかよ。相棒あんま無茶すんなよ。
I turn away as Yosuke shouts at me. Not to worry, Yosuke. I gave him a quick smile before leaving the area. For real this time. At that moment, I feel a weird of disorientation crash over me. I'm surprised that this is happening without warning, but it's not a threat. After all, I know this feeling all too well.
ようこそベルベットルームへ。
I've been leaving the music room, but now I'm sitting in the velvet room for some reason. Margaret greets me with her usual smile. This room truly is mysterious. But why would she summon me like this? Margaret sees my suspicious expressions and speaks up.
まだ始まったばかりなのに疲れた顔をしてるわね。今あなたに降りかかっている災いはある意味では試練と言えるのかもしれない。
試練。
I want to know the details behind her words, but I know that she won't answer me even if I ask. The inhabitants of the Velvet Room never reveal everything. That's because they can only watch over the choices that their guests make. Margaret's smile broadens when she sees that I don't intend to ask her anything.
そう。私はあなたの旅を見守る者。あなたに選択を強いるような無粋はしないわ。あなたにはそんなもの必要ない。それだけの輝きを持つ人だと知っているから。
This shine she speaks of. Could it be about my ability to use personas?
そうね。それもあなたの一つの大きな輝き。ペルソナ。それは覚悟の仮面。心の力。絆によって育まれるもの。あなたはよくご存知よね。
ああ、そうやって戦ってきたんだからな。
ええ、そうね。ただ心は無形のもの。目に見えず磨かれれば何者にも代え難い美しく強い光を放つ。だけどもその反面些細なことで曇ってしまう。強いのね。そんなところが素敵だわ。けれど覚えておくといいわ。誰もがあなたのように強いわけではないこと。
Margaret's voice fades away as she answers me.
あなたはこれから絆というものの姿を見つめ直すことになるでしょう。移ろうということとどう向き合ってゆくのか。あなたはどんな選択をするのかしら。
Judging by the time, I will probably only do like each thing, and I have the video like I have this stream like recording. Give me a second. It's recording any frame drops, no frame drops. Okay. Yeah. So I have this all recorded, So I will go back and I will edit my fights and any interesting story beats. So this stream will just be your Yu's storyline. When I open my eyes again, I'm in the school's hallway. I turn around and see the doors to the music room close behind me. Was I only summoned to the Velvet Room in spirit? There's no way for me to figure out what just happened, but I think back on what Margaret had told me.
移ろうか
Even though the people of the Velvet Room avoid saying much, what little they do have to say always has meaning. Well, it's true that Margaret has said some strange things while I've known her, but she's never said anything meaningless while on duty. I would assume that this would be the case now. I may have to keep her words to heart. In any case, I need to concentrate on this case for now. I'm sure I'll understand the meaning behind what she said when the time comes. I must proceed. Though this bizarre place looks nothing like the Yosogami High I attended, the building seems strangely familiar as I run through it. Teruya had appeared on the monitor in the music room from the looks of things. He appears to be behind what was happening. But I'd heard Rise's voice over the school's PA system before my fight with Yosuke. If this school works anything like a real one, I can make a good guess as to where Tei and Rise are.
そうか放送室かもしれない
But of course things aren't that easy. Those invisible walls keep getting in my way wherever I go. Seems that some of these walls don't let anybody through, no matter if they won or lost their fights. Every single time I run into one, I'm forced to take another path. It's like my route is already set for me.
どこかへ誘導されているみたいだな
I stop for a moment in the hallway out of the practice building and mutter to myself while I take a look around. Who is? No. What are they trying to lead me? At that moment,
ちょっとあんた、なんとかグランプリの参加者やね。
a voice that I don't recognize. Breaks me from my reverie. I instantly jump back and draw my sword in surprise.
お、何すんの？そんなん振り回したら危ないやない。
I turn and see a girl that I've never seen before. Was she part of that crowd? No, she looks like a real person. She was caught by surprise when I suddenly pointed my weapon at her. Although she flinches, her words didn't lose any of their intensity. How bold of her. That may seem like an odd thing to say, but it's what suddenly crossed my mind. But this girl doesn't seem to have any intention of attacking me. I sheath my sword but remain cautious.
すまない驚かせるつもりはなかった
すまないちゃうよ。他の生徒が怪我したらどないしはるん？生徒会の許可もえんとこんなんやったらあかんやろ。さあ観念し、大会は今すぐ中止や。
おい待ってくれ俺は好きで参加しているわけじゃないこの大会をやめさせたいんだ
I'm trying to act non-threatening, but the girl continues to glare at me. Who in the world is this girl? She's wearing a Yosogami high uniform. She said something about the student council, but I don't recognize her. You don't encounter people here in this world that often. If a person is here, then they're either a persona user or a...
君はどうしてここに？まさかとは思うが、テレビの中に落とされたのか？
That's right. I might have put it a little differently, but if she can't enter a TV herself, the only possibility is that someone threw her in. That was what was happening in the murders from last year.
テレビに落とされた？何寝ぼけたこと言ってんの？
She's not aware of it. But if she was a persona user, I don't see why she'd hide that fact. If she was trying to keep that from me, then she would have had come to talk to me like this. And does that mean she is a victim after all? I carefully choose my words to avoid provoking the girl and introduce myself.
俺は鳴上優。去年まで安上高校の2年生だった。
ん？去年まで？その制服。
あ、いやこれはテレビに入るときは装備の都合でこれっていうか。
装備？
いや、いい。気にしないでくれ。
まあ、去年までしかおらへんかったんなら知らんのも仕方あらへんね。うちはこの春決まった生徒会長や。よろしゅうね。
Student Council President. If I'm remembering correctly, the Student Council election should have taken place just before the holidays. I have no knowledge who won any of those elections since I left Inaba before they took place. That reminds me, I didn't have any friends on the Student Council last year either. The girl may very well be the president. No reason not to believe her.
さあ、今度はあんたの番やで。さっき好きで参加してるんちゃう言うてはったけど。ほな、なんでこんなん出てはるの？だいたいこの大会って何やの？
I feel that don't explain things very clearly to her. It will only provoke her further. By trying to tell her everything about what's going on here will only confuse her. I leave out the fact that this place is inside a television and tell her about the other things that are going on. First, I tell her about Teddy, that a friend of mine is likely the one who set the tournament up. Second, that I encountered some of my friends who were dragged into this as well, but they were acting strangely. And third, that my cousin, Nanako, still in elementary school, may have been dragged into this mess. The girl calling herself the Student Council President seems skeptical while I talk, but eventually she sighs.
要するに、騒ぎを起こしたんはあんたやなくて、あんたの友達いうこと？まあ、あんた嘘言うてる感じやないけど。
It seems that she somehow grasps the gist of what I was trying to say. I thank her out of politeness, but she laughs and asks why I'm thanking her. There's still one more difficult task left at hand. How do I make her understand that all this is within another world? One accessed by going through a TV screen. She still appears to be energetic, but it doesn't change the fact that she's in danger. I have to get her out of this world no matter what.
体育館の方やったで。本当は帰り言いたいとこやけど、妹さんのことは心配やもんな。
We both start running at the same time. I reach my full running speed when something occurs to me. I'm surprised to see that Miss President keeping pace right beside me. Just standing still in this world would be strenuous for a normal person, but she doesn't even seem out of breath. She's quite impressive. I take a moment to quietly praise the girl running next to me. We burst in the gym where all the noise came from, but there's no one here. Instead, we see huge piles of stacked chairs. They're twisted and intertwined everywhere on the open floor of the gym, forming huge towers that reach almost to the ceiling.
なんやなこれ。一体誰が。
The girl stares up at the chairs, seemingly dumbfounded. Suddenly, the monitor in the gym flickers to life. And as I expected, Teddy appears again in that costume.
先生ったら優雅におデート中クマか。まあクマは別にいいけど戦いに集中せんでええんかのおや悔しそうクマね。そうそうその顔がたまらんちんクマ。
He's not saying anything completely straight, but he's obviously hinting that he knows I'm worried about Nanako. I know that saving Nanako is important, but I can't leave Miss President here alone and abandon her to this world either. Still, I feel Teddy's words causing me to doubt myself, and Miss President raises her voice.
ちょっとあんた、この決体の騒ぎの主催者やんね。あんた何考えとるん？生徒会に新鮮もせんと騒ぎ起こして、さっさとしまいにして、使ったもんもきれいに片しや。
She speaks as fast and clearly as she had when I first met her. After getting a clear look at her, I feel like I've come to realize where she gets her courage from. She truly wishes to protect her school. Her strong awareness of her duty is surpassing her fear. But Teddy on the monitor looks annoyed and sneers at Miss President. It's incredibly disdainable. I can't believe that Teddy can even make such a malicious expression.
このちっちゃいのクマは今先生と大事な話の最中クマ。ちゃんちゃん騒がんと犬黒は隅っこでおとなしくしとりんしゃい。お座り。
He has absolutely no intention of dealing with her seriously. Miss President turns bright red in humiliation from being brushed off like that. This is enough. I take a step forward to put myself between the monitor and Miss President. Miss President's lips are trembling. She must be angry that there's nothing she can do herself. I don't want that anger to be in vain, so I turn to face the Teddy on the monitor.
随分じゃないかクマ。女性が好きなお前とは思えない仕打ちだな。
ほんだそれっからしの嘘つき野郎に興味なんてあるわけないでしょ。
嘘つき？彼女のことを何か知ってるのか？
The way he said that it sounds as if there's some history between the two of them. But as usual, he doesn't bother to give any details in his answer.
さあ先生、対戦相手がもう待ちくたびれてるクマよ。対戦者、出てこいクマ。
After that line, another cloud of smoke rises from the floor. But this time, it's Yukiko who appears.
よかった。無事だったんだね。どうしたの？
いや、なんでもない。天城は無事か？
変わったこと？ううん、別にないよ。
Yukiko seems alarmed to see me in a defensive posture. I feel my shoulders relax in relief as I shift my weight to stand normally. It seems that she hasn't been affected like Yosuke had. I didn't think I'd be that tense though. Now that the Yukiko I remember, she's as sharp as always exactly when we need her. if she's not being confused, then I can immediately ask for her help. I try to explain what I need from her.
ナナコがこちら側にいるかもしれないんだ。俺はクマのいる放送室へ向かう。天城はこの子を保護してくれないか。この事件の被害者かもしれない。
Motion towards Miss President standing next to me. Yukiko looks at me in surprise. I don't blame her though. But what Yukiko said next was even more surprising.
そんなの嫌。だってその子知らない人だもの。
I'm not going to help her because I don't know her. Is that really what she's saying? I can understand that she might be cautious when meeting someone for the first time, but would Yukiko really think that way? I got to be the same as with Yosuke. The same uncanny sense of wrongness is coming back to me when I hear Yukiko speak.
天城、まさか君もなのか。落ち着いて聞いてくれ。俺の言葉がわかるか。
突然どうしちゃったの？ちゃんと聞こえてるよ。お前もってどういうこと？
When I tried to question her, Yukiko's expression returns to normal. I can't tell anymore. She doesn't look like she's being controlled by someone. Am I overthinking this too much? At the very least, she doesn't seem enthusiastic about this P1 Grand Prix.
おそらくこれは敵の策略だ。俺と天城を戦わせるためのものだろう。もう一度言うぞ天城。この子を保護してやってほしい。
ごめんなさい。どう言えばいいか。あなたがどうしてもわがままだって思えちゃう。いつも全然関係ない人を助けたり、そういうの偉いと思う。あなたの自己満足に付き合って危ない目に遭う私たちのことはどう思ってるのかなって。
I'm used to hearing her voice, but her words are scathing. I'm convinced now. There's no obvious change in her attitude like there had been with Yosuke, but something must be warping Yukiko's words too. Her words may seem like a sound argument, but she means something else. I don't care if someone who isn't related to me gets hurt. That's definitely not something Yukiko would say. The real Yukiko would never say something that disrespects the value of a life that way. Don't be deluded. Whatever happened to Yosuke is happening to Yukiko too. I don't understand the details, but Yukiko hasn't had a complete change of heart.
天城。
ちょっと、鳴神か？
When I draw my sword, Miss President quickly tries to stop me. But I can't answer her right now. If a battle will clear up this pointless misunderstanding between us, then the time to fight is now.
あれれ、さすが先輩。目的のためなら相手が女の子だって容赦なし。ほんと筋金入りのシスコン野郎だね。その調子でバンバンぶっ倒しちゃえ。
I ignore the taunts being delivered in Risei's voice. Even if our words aren't getting through to each other and we have to fight without understanding what's going on, we'll come to an understanding later. I have to believe, both myself and my friends. I hold my sword to the side to protect Miss President who's standing behind me.
すまないが、少し下がっていてくれ。それと、今から何を見ても驚かないでほしい。逃げ出したりしないと。いや。
What happens next will probably surprise her greatly, but I doubt Miss President will run away. She's already shown me how strong her determination is. I glance at her over my shoulder. Although she looks worried, she still gives me a slight nod of agreement. Now, time to do this. I must end this as quickly as possible.
ペルソナ
concentrate all my senses to summon my strength of heart, my persona, Izanagi. If I allow myself to go easy on Yukiko, she will surely defeat me. Yukiko smiles faintly and takes her battle stance. She resisted the idea of protecting Miss President, but she seemed to have no qualms whatsoever about fighting me. There's definitely something else controlling her.
おいで、この花咲くや。
Yukiko's black hair formed grateful arcs in the air as her persona, Konoha Hana Tsukuya, rises behind her. That's right, the usual Yukiko should have a beautiful heart like this. Wait for me. I will save you. Gonna take a quick drink.
Round final. Fight.
お手柄の精打が欲しいところですね。まさかレッスン。読まれてるわよさ。これを守りきれるのか。番狂わせは起きなかったようです。勝者はなるかみ先輩さすがのぶっちぎり。
にしししいいクマよ、その象的なやつ。普段すかした薄っぺらな仲間たちが本性をさらしてボッコボコに殴り合う。これぞ P1 グランプリの醍醐味クマ。
I don't care to hear any more of Teddy's jests. I still have reservations about fighting against my friends, but I now know that there is no other way to save them. I'm resolved to do what must be done. Also, there's no knowing if Teddy and Yusei have been affected just like Yosuke and Yukiko has. If they are, then there's no use in trying to talk to them through the monitor like this. That's the conclusion I've come to, but Miss President seemed to have other ideas.
あんたどこまで人をバカにしとるん。なんでこんなことするんよ。この人らは友達なんや。友達同士で戦わせて何がおもろいの。
The president vents her frustration at Teddy's image on the monitor, but I was a bit surprised as how she worded it. She seemed more upset than he was making friends fight each other, not why he had dragged the entire school into this mess. We've only just met, but she clearly sympathizes with us and understands the pain we're going through. I'm embarrassed but proud at the same time. A girl with such compassion would be a great student council president. It's no wonder she was elected to represent the student body of Yosogami High.
いいんだ。ありがとう。
言い訳あらへんやない。こんなん。
She's still worked up and she lashes out at me. Perhaps her heart is a little too honest. But her anger sets my mind at ease. She's right. What General Teddy is doing right now cannot be forgiven. I glared at the monitor.
残念だがお前の思い通りにはならない。
何クマ？
これくらいで俺たちがバラバラになるとでも思ったか。互いのことを憎み合うとでも思ったのか。残念だがそれがすでにお前の誤算だ。俺は仲間たちを信じる。決してお前に惑わされたりはしない。
なんちゅうバカクマ。先生のくせに脳がお花畑クマね。
忠告しておくぞ。お前が本当にクマならどんなことをしてでも俺たちが必ず元に戻してやる。だがもしお前がクマの姿を借りた偽物なら俺と仲間を踏みにじったことの報いは必ず受けてもらう。
Teddy scoffs and turns around. The monitor suddenly switches off, suddenly turning on us without any sign of remorse. That's not like Teddy at all. No, he's most likely not the real Teddy. Seeing the anger in his face only strengthens my suspicions. Someone must be taking Teddy's form to make it look like he's the one committing these acts.
あの子目覚ましはったけど。
I immediately rush to Yukiko's side.
天城、無事か。悪かった。手加減できなくて。
いいの。少し様子はおかしかったけど、あなたが何か解決しようとしてるのは目で分かったから。ごめんね。痛くなかった？
いや、痛かったよ。天城とは二度と戦いたくないな。
I try to pass it off as a joke, and we look at each other and laugh. Things are going the same way as they had with Yosuke. It's becoming clear now.
天城には俺が天城のことを悪く言っているように聞こえたんじゃないか。
そうだけど。
Yukiko hesitates as if even remembering it is a difficult experience. What in the world did my illusion say to her? I bet it was something horrible. Whoever's doing this is clearly finding the most annoying ways of getting us to fight. But what I supposedly said to her doesn't matter. Yukiko is still hesitant to bring it up, so I tell her not to worry about it.
内容は話さなくていい。俺の推測が正しかったことを確認しただけだ。どうやら敵は俺たちの感覚を惑わせる力を持っているようだ。俺の最初の対戦相手は陽介だったが、あいつも同じようなことを言っていた。
花村くんにも何か言われたの？なんて？
俺には内容を話させるのか？
If I'm the only one admitting to what happened, that's not fair, is it? But that curiosity is in line with the Yukiko I know. I evade the issue with a smile and call out to Miss President who is standing behind us.
あんたら一体何者なん？そっか、ペルソナとか使っちゃったから。
そうだな。話しておいた方がいいかもしれない。
She did see everything that just happened. This would be a good opportunity to tell her everything. I introduced Miss President and Yukiko to each other and fill in the parts that I had left out of my previous explanation. I tell her about the personas. I tell her that we're actually in a world inside the television. And I tell her how the scenes here change according to the hearts of the people who enter it. She looks doubtful when I'm talking, but considering that she'd just seen our personas only moments ago, she doesn't immediately deny it. Still, it seemed that she can't accept it at all either. She crosses her arms as if lost in thought. On the other hand, it seemed like that Yukiko didn't know that Yosogami High had a new student council president either. Yukiko apologizes for not having paid attention to the elections in April.
というわけだ。
テレビの世界がどうのって そういう意味やったんね。
だからこの学校は君の心の中にある風景が現実になった場所の可能性がある。
うちがこの学校？信じられへん。
それはそうだよね。でもなんでだろう。いつもなら被害者のシャドウが出て。
That's right. I had doubts about that too. There's a reason why it's dangerous for people who can't use their personas to enter this world. Besides the obvious reasons such as not being able to escape and being unable to protect themselves from shadows, a person's shadow separates from them. The shadow that splits off are strongly attached to the original person they came from and will try to harm them in order to become independent identities. I hadn't given it much thought since Miss President seemed so energetic, but it's still possible that this has happened to her as well. I put this together with the conversation I had with Teddy a moment ago and come to a conclusion.
この大会を主催している組、あれが実はこの子のシャドウなんじゃないか。先ほどあのクマはほんのわずかだが俺の偽物という言葉に動揺した。あのクマが偽物だとすればクマ以外の誰かがクマ。
そっか、この場所が会長さんの心を映した場所ならそこにいるのは会長さんのシャドウのはずだから。
That's right. If we both saw an illusion, then at the very least the enemy has the power to delude our senses and make us see and hear things that aren't there. On top of that, it can alter what others hear us say and see us do. If it can do that, then it can easily see that our enemy can use that power to change its appearance. That means it could be impersonating Teddy and leading this tournament. That still leaves the question as to why it would take on the appearance of someone it doesn't know. I've seen shadows in the past that took on bizarre appearances, but this is the first time I've seen one impersonate an existing person. Does the shadow have some kind of objective? When I come to my senses, I see the Miss President has turned pale and is staring down at the ground. All this talk in shadows in another world doesn't seem to be reaching her, but she seemed troubled at the thought that she might be causing all this trouble. I'm about to tell her that the actions of her shadow aren't her fault, but Miss President rises to her feet.
うち放送室に行ってくる。クマ相当言うのがこの騒ぎの原因やんな。それがうちから出たもんやって言うならうちが責任取らんと。生徒会長として放っておけへん。
待つんだ。自分から出ていくなんて無謀すぎる。シャドウは俺たちで何とかする。
帰れよん。なら出口はどこやの。そこまでどうやって行くん。
それは。
Her eyes are filled with the fires of determination, just as they had been when I first met her. Her sense of responsibility and her awareness of her duty says that she will never back down.
そない言うけど放送室にはあんたのいとこもいてあんたは助けに行きはるんやろ。そらあんたらよりは弱いかもやけどこう見えて喧嘩には自信があるんようち。一人で行くより二人の方がマシやと思わへん。
ダメだ。分かっているのかこの世界を。
危険やってのは分かっとるよ。せやけどうちにしかできんこともあるはずや。第一人に迷惑かけて友達同士やのに戦わせて自分が先に逃げるってそんなんありえへん。先行くで。言い合いしとる時間も欲しいんとちゃうの。
Miss President declares this in a voice that brooks no argument and takes off running. Yikes, I wasn't expecting her to behave rashly like this. I remember how fast she can run. If I'm going to go after her, I need to go at once, or I'll lose her.
お願い言ってあげて。
Yukiko sees me hesitate and knows exactly what to say. She's right. There's so much we don't understand, but there's no way the investigation team can let a victim run off to die. Yukiko ignores the fact that I'd be leaving her alone and tells me to follow a girl she's only just met. This is the exact opposite of the behavior she's been displaying before the fight. Now that is the Yukiko Amagi I know. I'm ashamed that I had even slightly let myself be confused by the way I had heard her speak before, and I answer her.
Hmm. 信じてるから。
Yukiko nods to me and I turn and begin running as fast as I can. I have to rely on the faint echoes of footsteps ahead to pursue Miss President through the school. I can't use my memories of the school in order to navigate because the invisible walls are everywhere, but the announcement room is upstairs. That's obviously limits the paths that she can take. I will catch up with her no matter what. I've been running after Miss President for a while, but I still can't catch sight of her. She's so fast, it's almost supernatural. I even began to think that her path may not be hindered by the invisible walls. Wait a second. Now that I think about it, she's not a participant in the P1 Grand Prix. She didn't appear in the introduction video, and even though she'd been there when I faced off with Yukiko. Hi Thursday! She wasn't affected by the rules. Could she be able to walk through these walls? If so, then catching up to her will be quite difficult. Just as I'm thinking this, suddenly a blue door appears in my path. I've seen this before. This is the entrance to the Velvet Room. I don't have time to deal with this, or so I think. When I consider the timing of its appearance, I can't help but feel that there must be a reason for it. I make up my mind and reach for the door. As I walk through the door, I feel a slight sense of lightheadedness, and I close my eyes reflexively. When I open my eyes, I'm seated in my usual position. Margaret is smiling quietly at me, as if nothing is different. When she sees that I've noticed her, she speaks as if aware of my impatience.
慌ただしいわね。でもこの場所では時間なんて無意味なものだわ。
Yeah, time has no meaning here. I am gonna quickly go grab a drink because damn, my throat is really scratchy. Hopefully I have like some bottles left. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with a drink and saw a cat. I live in the middle of nowhere. I don't own a cat. So, yeah. Anyways, back to the game. Margaret politely points this out, knowing that I'm in a hurry. Timing is meaningless, huh? Guess I could own a cat now. No, I can't because I have chihuahuas. Which is weird. Why aren't they barking? I thought I had figured out a few things about this room, but it seems that there is still more for me to learn about it. If time doesn't pass while I'm in this room, then I could concentrate on what she's about to tell me. Once again, as if writing my thoughts, Margaret smiles.
勝利。そして真実のかけらを手にしたようね。偽りの庭にいながらも、あなたは確実に前へと進むしるべを手にしている。さすがだわ。
Oh, the cat isn't in my house, it's like roaming around the garden. Maybe that's why there was like flashlights and stuff going on the other day.
じゃあやはりあの生徒会長ってこのシャドウがこの騒ぎを。
さあ、私にはただあなたが真実の輝きに近づきつつあることがわかるだけ。でもそうね、これだけは言えるわ。
Margaret's golden eyes are fixed on mine.
その少女のシャドウが災いの元凶というなら、その子はきっと試練を受けるでしょう。でもそれはあなたの運命とは別のもの。
Sorry, just like a few things, just, popped up. Just checking my phone.
あなたにはあなたの試練がある。それは心しておきなさい。
俺の試練。
So, for you Thursday that just came in, I'm playing through the original Persona 4 Arena story as Yu Narakami. Funny enough that that was actually the name that they gave him in the anime, and it was the first Persona anime to actually air properly. I don't mean to, but I repeat what Margaret had just said.
救いや希望、皆さまざまなものをあなたに見出す。そして惹かれていく。未だに見守りたいと願っている今の私のように、運命が試練を与えなくたってあなたはまあ試される定めよね。
Margaret smiles mischievously and nods towards me. And as a slight feeling of lightheadedness pass, and I return to that otherworldly school. The blue door is nowhere to be found, as if it had never been there to begin with. Oh yeah, so this is the spin-off series for fighting games. So the one that you get on Steam right now is actually the second version of the game. But because it was never on the PC, it was always at the arcade, Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. Yeah, when they ported it over to the PC, they had to like include the original game and the sequel game together. Yes. I look up. I still don't understand what my own trial is supposed to be. But for some reason, my mind has cleared up a bit. So I used to play on the Xbox, so my thumb... Yeah. So my thumb actually goes onto the control stick, but I actually need to do the D-pad. Because that's where the D-pad is on the, no, that's on the PS4 controller. In any case, I need to keep chasing after Miss President. And now, I immediately see a recognizable feature, her long ponytail. I found her.
待て！一人では危険だ。
Miss President turns around in response to my voice. She's smiling. I wasn't expecting that at all.
あんたすごいな。こないはように追いつくやなんて。
This calmness. Had she expected that I would follow her? I'm beginning to feel that she's toying with me. But I understand now. Nothing I can say to her will change her mind. There's no helping it then.
約束してくれ。絶対に俺から離れないと。それと決して無茶はしないでくれ。この2つが飲めないのなら俺は今すぐに力ずくでも君を保護しなければならない。
Yeah. So I'm playing the original game, which is P4 Arena. I actually do own the soundtrack for this game on vinyl because while I was living in the UK, there was actually a pre-order bonus for getting a vinyl and, you know, MP3 stuff for this soundtrack. And that is the reason why I got into vinyl records. Wink wink, look down in the description at my throne for some records that I would like to get.
君の命に関わること
おおきに。ほな、一緒に放送室行こか。
I thought that I'd be able to keep her in check by saying that her life was in danger, but she didn't seem to take any notice. She just shrugged and accepted my proposal. She's quite hard to deal with. I'm not sure if she knows how I'm feeling, but she speaks up.
なあ、聞いてもええ？
あ、どうした？
There's a moment of silence. Just as I'm about to ask her to go on, Miss President continues.
友達と戦わされるんってやっぱり辛いやんな。ごめん、無理に答えんでも。
You must still be thinking about my fight with Yukiko. True, I'm slightly hesitant to talk about any of this, but it's a question that must be answered. That's how it feels to me.
いや、そうだな。避けられるなら避けたいさ。だけど、俺は仲間を信じるよ。
それ戦っても相手の人があんたのこと嫌いにならんってこと？それともあんたも戦いたないって相手の人もわかるってこと？
どうだろうな。両方かもしれない。そもそも理由がなければ仲間と戦うことなんてありえないだろう。
Will she believe that answer? I study Miss President's face. But when she opens her mouth, she has an unexpectedly gloomy look in her eyes.
ならそれが殺し合いやったら
Kill each other? I truly hadn't anticipated that question. I'm caught off guard by how I hadn't even considered it. It's true, there's no guarantee that this General Teddy won't suddenly decide to make us fight to the death on a whim.
ごめんな。なんや物騒なこと聞いてしもて、なんでそない言うたか自分でもようわからん。
そんなことはさせない。
If I was forced into such a situation, I would never follow that order. That's all I can say right now. But after hearing my answer, Miss President cast her eyes down again. After thinking that behavior, how do I put this, felt a sense of incongruity. Why could that be? Something doesn't feel like her. Could Miss President be carrying some unimaginable burden that she has yet to confide in us? Is it so heavy that she would ask that question of me? Speaking of which, if General Teddy does turn out to be her shadow, what does that mean about whatever repressed thoughts she truly has? Suddenly it seems that her courageous and cheerful demeanor are a mirror image of that. A slight sense of fear chills my spine. My thoughts race through my head while we walk down the hallway.
何やってはるの？
I thought I broke my nose for a moment. It's that invisible wall again. Even though I should have been expecting them, I relaxed my guard and walked right into one. I hold my nose and wave away Miss President, who looks concerned.
見えない壁がある。ここは通れないみたいだ。
見えない壁？ああ、それであんた時々パントマイムみたいになってはったん？うちが普通に通れるとこ見ると大会参加者だけ通れんようになるいうことやろね。ほんまけったいやね、この世界。
Miss President walks right through the place I had bumped into, so that must be the case, as I imagine Miss President is unaffected by these walls. Is it because she's not one of the fighters in the Grand Prix? Of course, if General Teddy really is her shadow, maybe the normal rules don't apply to her. The entrance of the school building is ahead of us, but perhaps worst of all is that the wall I had just walked into is blocking me from reaching there. I'll just have to find some other way. No, there are walls there too. And the same can be said for the direction towards the entrance. A thought crossed my mind as I checked back the way we had come. As I thought, another invisible wall had formed where I had just passed, and I can't go back. There's walls in every direction, so there's nowhere I can go. I'm trapped. And if I can't go anywhere, this can only mean one thing.
注意しろ。おそらくこれは。
The moment I call out to Miss President, General Teddy appears on the monitor in the entryway. It means my third round in the P1 Grand Prix is about to begin.
先生、お花大丈夫かま？もうそそっかしいんだから。
まだその姿を続けるつもりか。お前の茶番は飽きた。
あら、先生ったらご機嫌斜めくまね。何を言っとるか全然わからんくまよ。
I was intentionally trying to rile him up, but he wasn't falling for it. It looks like I'm not going to get him to reveal anything that way. I quickly changed tactics.
それで、次の相手は誰だ？
先生ったらやる気満々ね。さては仲間をぶん殴るのが快感になってきたくまね。オッケー。次の対戦者出てこいクマ。
The general doesn't pick up on my intention and loudly yells out what appears to be his pre-battle catchphrase. Smoke pours out, and who should appear from the smoke but the person I was expecting to see? 4 of us enter the TV together. I've already fought against Yusuke and Yukiko. Then
だと思ったよ。
that's what I thought.
最後の一人だからな。
だよね。私も君じゃないかって思ってた。
Tia laughs along with me. For the moment there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her, or its inaction, but I can't let my guard down around her. After all, I felt the same way when I encountered Yukiko too. But as they say, the third time's the charm. I have to see if Tia is in her right mind. I decide that the best way to do this is to be calm and start a conversation with her.
サトノか、気づいているか？この戦いの目的は？
Before I can begin to explain, Tia cuts me off.
知ってる。私たちが喧嘩するようにって相手の言葉がおかしく聞こえるんだよね。大丈夫。君は事件が終わるなり私たちのことを置いてったクソ野郎だけど大事な仲間だもん。てかあんたたちなんて所詮ただ友達同士で戦わされてるだけじゃない。こっちなんて散々殺し合いだったんだ。あんたら人間のせいでさ。
Now this is obvious. Tia is clearly not herself. It's so blatant her words don't offend me at all. Moreover, it's not just out of character, but Tia would never say anything like that. And you humans, that's as good as confession that you're not human. Oh right, carnival was it? Miss President is watching us from nearby. She looks more dumbfounded than worried. Still, what Chie said at the end caught my attention. I had to keep killing over and over.
また殺し合いか。さっき会長も言ってたな。やはりこれは。
痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い。苦しい苦しい苦しい苦しい苦しい苦しい。あんたたちにだって同じ痛みを味合わせてやるって言ってんのよ。
She's not even trying to sound like Chie anymore. I can't even begin to understand what she's talking about. But if a shadow is intentionally making people say things, what does this mean about Miss President? Killing each other? All because of humans? What kind of secret past could the new student council president of Yosogami High be harboring? No, now's not the time for this. I'll have to look into this after we cleared up all the confusion between us.
やるぞ、サトナ君。
I ignore her words and draw my sword. Immediately, Yusei's voices echoed through the area as if she was waiting for this.
さて早くもグランプリ3回戦下馬評ではちょっと肉食獣有利かな。口ばっかで実力の伴わない村上先輩は果たしてこの戦いに勝利することはできるでしょうか。 T1 グランプリいくよ。レディー
Round final. Fight!
お互い決定打が欲しいところですね。このリードを維持したいね。いくよ。これはもう勝負は始まったから。リードを生かせず逆転を許してしまいました。これは悔しい。
I've won. I lower my sword and begin slowing my breath. I don't believe I've injured Chie too badly. Considering this was my third time having to do this, I feel like I'm getting pretty good at not having to seriously wound people in a fight.
得意そうな顔しちゃってこんなのちっとも面白くないクマよ。
General Teddy has seen that the fights ended without any injuries and spits his words through the monitor. The image on the monitor then disappears without anything further. Let him say whatever he wants. I fought all the friends I came into the TV with, and none of them are hurt. All that's left is to head to the announcement room and make sure Nanako is safe, and then we'll be able to go home. I walk over to Chie to help her up off the ground. She's come back to her senses and she seems a little sheepish.
なんとかね。しかし強いな。差とか感じちゃってちょっとショックかも。
Look who's talking. I've never been kicked around so badly in my life. I wait for Chie to reach her feet and then tell her everything that's happened up to this point.
よかった。じゃあみんな無事なんだね。はあ、どうしようかと思ったよ。
Chie is so relieved that she sits down on the floor once more. I can't help but smile at that reaction. She really does care about her friends. Yeah, these are the people I believe in. Seeing us exchange smiles like nothing was wrong, Miss President sounds perplexed when she speaks up.
あんたらほんまに仲ええんやね。羨ましいわ。そりゃあね、 事件のおかげで年中いつも一緒だったしね。わけわかんないこと言われて確かにびっくりしたけど、本当はそんなことするはずないってわかるから。あれ？てか誰？
Oh, I forgot about that. I quickly introduced Miss President and tell Chie that she may be a victim of this case. But Chie looks again at Miss President suspiciously.
え？生徒会長ってうちの学校の？それちょい違くない？新しい生徒会長って確か男子だったような。
何言うてはらん？うちは会長や。それ以外に何や言うの？
いや、間違いはないと思うんだけど。あ、そうだ、名前聞いていい？
名前？
Miss President stops moving. What's going on? She can't tell us her name. It's not that strange question, is it? But for some reason, Miss President seems unable to answer. I sense some kind of incoherent melancholy from her. She and I share a tense
う
glance.
ちの名前は。
どうした？
うちの記憶。いやいや、もう戦いとうない。東方殺しなんてちゃう。
Kill one another. I gasp when I hear the words fall from her mouth. I don't know what's crossing her mind right now, but she's definitely not acting normally. I glance at Chie, then try to approach Miss President in the hopes of calming her down. Without warning, Miss President begins flailing her arms, as if trying to ward off demons that only she can see. Chie reaches out and touches her in concern. Miss President's arm catches Chie's and easily knocks her aside.
Satonaka!
What power? I barely manage to catch Chie before she slams into the concrete wall. Still, this sudden breakdown. What in the world's happened to Miss President? Once I've helped Chie back to her feet, we've carefully approached her from both sides. This will be a little rough, but it can't be helped. We can't ask her anything while she's like this. But at that moment...
Nani?
Before I know it, Miss President is flying through the air. She was jumping. For a moment, I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. This is no ordinary leap. She was at a standstill, but now her entire body is suddenly up higher than my head. Her jumping ability is unbelievable. She and I look up in astonishment as Miss President kick off the ceiling to change direction and land at a full run.
すっごー。あの子何者？私そんな怒らすようなことを言った？てか今記憶がどうのって。
思えば彼女、記憶が少し混乱しているらしかった。もしかしてそれを取り戻しかけたのかも。
いきなりあんなぶっ飛んで逃げるって、それどんな記憶？
I can't answer Chie at all. What if we had to kill each other? I hear Miss President's sad voice in my head. Chie apparently wasn't expecting me to answer her, and she continues.
私ここで待ってるからさ。絶対にあの子助けてあげてよ。
Her voice is strong and confident. To drive the point home, she pokes my chest with her finger as if ordering me. Even though she might be in danger herself, she's still worried about others. All my friends are like that. That makes me really happy right now. I asked Chie if she'd be alright on her own. She fires back, "Let me worry about that." I nod to her and begin running after Miss President once more. I will save her, no matter what. Even though I was running as fast as I could, the invisible walls keep preventing me from making much headway. I attempt to strike at the walls with my persona, but nothing happened.
参ったな。見えない壁が次々。会長は通れるんだとすると、この先を終えるかどうか。
The announcement room is still my destination. There's no way to know if that's where Miss President is heading as well, but if there's a shadow waiting for me there, I need to get there anyways. Teddy and Rise should be in the announcement room, and if Nanako is being held captive, that's where she'd be as well. I have to keep running, but yet another wall blocks the hallway. At first I think that this is a dead end. I realize I can cut through a classroom and come out on the other side of the wall. It's forcing me to enter the room rather than letting me go straight. This probably means I brace myself and put my hands on the door. The moment I step inside, a familiar voice echoes in my mind.
先輩、聞こえる？返事して。
この声というか感覚。
Her voice isn't coming from the PA system. I'm actually hearing it in my head. This has to be the work of Rise's persona.
変な偽熊に捕まって、それからずっと一人で。先輩たちはなんか戦っちゃってるし。
I can hear the relief in her voice. She sounds so different from the insensitive and rude voice that had been coming from the PA system. This is indeed the Rise I know.
リセ、今どこにいる？俺の位置が特定できるか？
ごめんなさい、あまり時間ないかも。今放送室に捕まってて。お願い先輩、早く来て。じゃないとあいつが。
リセ、どうしたリセ？
There is no answer. The communication has been cut off. Has something happened to in the announcement room? My heart begins racing. The enemy made us fight each other as participants in this tournament, but they had captured Rise as well. It's clear to me that they must have been worried about her using her persona powers to tell us the truth. But that's not important right now. If she was just captured to prevent her from contacting us, then the enemy must know of Rise as being less valuable than those who had to fight. She sounded okay, but who knows what might happen to her now. I have to hurry.
試案中とお見受けしますが、失礼します。
A hand brushes my shoulder. In surprise, I jump away and draw my sword. I can't believe that I let myself get so lost in thought that I didn't notice someone until they touched me. This is the second time I let myself get so distracted. I've gotten used to having my friends with me while we investigate last year. I can't pay attention to the entire world on my own. I need to brace myself. I look up and see another unfamiliar face. A girl with blonde hair and striking blue eyes. Wait, girl? Her face and voice seemed human-like, but the rest of her, there's metal everywhere, all over her body. For a moment I wonder if this is just an elaborate costume, but I can see the interior framework of her body.
驚かせてしまってすみません。
君はその体。
はじめまして、アイギスと申します。お考えの通り、人間ではありません。あなたは紹介 VTR によると、鋼のシスコン番長、鳴神さんでありますね。
The question catches me off guard. I wasn't expecting a complete stranger to call me that. And did she say she wasn't human? It's well, when Yusei called me by that stupid little title, I knew it was a joke, but when a stranger says it, it sounds like they truly believe it. Huh. This is a pain.
誤解だ。確かにナナコは大切だが。
No, wait a second. I was trying to play it off, but I ended up blurting out Nanako's name anyways. Calm down. I need to take this conversation away from this subject. I cleared my throat and tried to start over.
アイギスさんでしたっけ？なぜここに？
私たちの本来の目的はシャドウの総統ですが、この世界へはある任務のためにやってきました。
シャドウの総統？
She fights shadows, but how can she do that if...
ということはまさか。
はい、私もペルソナ能力を持っています。体は機械ですが、ペルソナは心の力ですので。
Just as I thought. I'm surprised to find another persona user outside of my group of friends, and a robot on top of that. I can't come to grips with all of this. From the way we were talking, she seemed just like a normal person, only in an interesting suit. True, I've seen stories on the news about robots looking uncanny like real humans, but isn't something like that far beyond those? Still, I can't help but believe the evidence of my own eyes. I mean, I've been hopping in and out of TVs for the past year. Who am I to say what's strange or not? Perhaps the technology behind her creation has supernatural roots of its own. I find myself growing more and more interested in how she came to be here. But I have to put that aside for now. There's something I need to find out from her first. The P1 Grand Prix is so similar to the events of last year, but to think that it would involve someone like her. I don't have a clear picture of everything that's happening, that's for sure. I calm myself, then ask her what I feel would tell me what she's doing in this world.
それで、あなたの言う任務とは？
She opens her mouth to respond, but just then, the monitor inside the classroom turns on. It's at that moment that I suddenly remember. It's likely that I'm going to have to fight her. Here, I've forgotten about sensing that when I entered the room.
もう先生ったらこんなとこでいたクマ。クマ一生懸命探しちゃったじゃない。およー、そっちの可愛い子ちゃんは誰クマ？さては先生、逆難中だったクマね。
白々しい言い方だな。ここへ誘い込んだのはお前の方だろ。
あらら、バレックマ？仕方ないでしょう。そいつらが勝手に飛び入り参加しやがったクマよ。さて、お察しのいい先生ならもう分かってるクマね。
The general on the monitor gives me a twisted smile. Could Aki's-san's mission be something that would cause him trouble? I can't figure out what his motives are, but he's using us to crush each other. In other words, she's the next challenger that's been set against me. Aki-san seems to understand this as well, and is staring at the monitor with a quiet animosity.
すまないが、あなたはこの大会のルールを知っているか？
戦いに勝った者しか先へ進めない。それがこの場所のルールでしたね。
あなたに恨みはない。だが、俺にも少々急ぐ理由があるんだ。
お互いに譲れないということですね。では、恨みっこなしであります。
Aki-san is refreshingly straightforward about this. She immediately takes a fighting stance. A bitter thought comes to me. If so, being forced to fight my friends, but having to hurt someone that I don't even know is just as bad. And the thought comes on the heels of that one. I don't know this girl. Perhaps her appearance here means that there are urgent problems that an ordinary student like me can't fathom. What gives me the right to stop her on her mission? Should I know what's at stake before I take that from her? Thankfully, it seems that she hasn't gone mad like my other friends. Perhaps the enemy doesn't care about clouding the minds of people who don't know each other. If we're still capable of understanding each other, then we should talk this over before we do anything.
それはダメであります。勝敗がついてからお話ししましょう。
Aki-san says this so quickly as if she's reading my mind. For a moment, I'm struck by how she could have known what I was thinking, but I realize that she's right. What good would it do for us to talk things over? True, the loser cannot leave this room, but until we have a battle, neither one of us is going anywhere. It doesn't really matter if we can come to an understanding or not. Until we have our fight, none of our goals are going to be accomplished. If that's the case, then it's better if we don't hear about each other's problems before we fight. That would be why Aki-san hasn't told me anything. This must be her version of kindness. I silently ready my sword. Aki-san appears to smile slightly when I do. Right, I'm not going to give up on what I'm fighting for either. I need Nanako and my friends to be safe. And I have to make sure that Ms. President is okay. I will use everything I can to protect them. To thank her for her consideration, I make it a point to announce that I'm ready to start the fight.
なら行くぞ。手加減は無用だ。
お相手します。
Marcus is hard to deal with because she is a ranged fighter.
失敗です。なんて衝撃。同床警備。オリビアモード出さない。始めます。ガード無駄です。スクランブル無駄です。高速発射であります。ホバリング体制ペルソナ。スクランブル未来あり。ややダメージ無駄です。オーバー失礼。召喚シークペルソナレイズアップ。なんて衝撃。勝負です未来あり。なんて衝撃。同床警備。なんて衝撃。なんて衝撃。なんて衝撃。
I hate choosing Leo to attack, but I kind of have to. Yu is not my main character.
うひょー、さすが先生ね。そんなポンコツ相手にならんかったクマ。いい君ね。もっともっと苦しめばいいクマ。友達同士みんなで一緒になって潰し合えばいいクマよ。
Machine was the power of a persona. She was made to fight shadows, but I had no idea what she was capable of. I feel like my mind's being drained even more than my body. It angers me to see that the general is watching over us with an expression of joy, as if we were some performer for his amusement. I look up and glare at the monitor.
お前がなぜ俺たちを争わせるのかはわからない。俺たちは決して憎み合って戦うわけじゃない。互いを認めているからこそ戦えるんだ。
a low growl. That's the only sound I hear. Real teddies never made such a hateful sound. It's actually rather scary. The image on the monitor distorts along with the outburst. The general is having trouble remembering to act as someone else, and his face bulges and ripples disturbingly as his hate pours through the screen. Any pretense at copying the adorable stupidity of the real Teddy is gone now. I notice that the voice spitting out these hateful words is not Teddy's either. The general on the monitor continues to rage.
一体何の話をしている？なぜこんな大会を用意したんだ？
The moment I say that, I feel that all the dots have become connected. When Miss President has asked, out of the blue, if we were going to be forced to kill each other, that ominous muttering of killing one another, were those both something that had come directly from her past? Maybe she had been forced to fight against people she didn't want to fight. Had she been forced to destroy something that was precious to her? There's no way to know for sure, but it's possible. Considering this, it kind of explains why her shadow would have created a tournament like this. That is, she wanted us to feel what she went through. I might not be entirely correct, but I feel like I'm close to the truth. Should I just ask General Teddy about my suspicions? But as I'm considering raising my voice...
エキセントリックお邪魔いたします。
Someone comes crashing through the ceiling. What in the world? I rush over to Agi-san to protect her from the falling debris. P3. When I look up, I see a young woman emerge from the clouds of dust. While not as strange as Agus, she seems a little uncommon as well. But even besides that, why does she have to come through the ceiling? The room has doors. It makes no sense at all. I was about to get to the heart of the matter with General Teddy, but the monitor in this room has been destroyed, along with the ceiling. Though she seemed oblivious to my confusion, the girl cocks her head and apologizes again.
おや、これは失礼いたしました。人がいるとはめんつゆ知らず。
めんつゆ？
そばつゆ？おつゆ？まあ、とにかくそんな感じでございます。
What the hell is she talking about? Who in the world is this person? Wait a second. That blue suit she's wearing, it looks familiar. And with that silver hair and golden eyes. Could it be?
ベルベットルーム。
まあ、これが世に言うナンパでございましょうか。外見のみで異性を判断して声をかけ、その内面が己の推察通りであるか否かにかける禁断の儀式。
いや、そうじゃない。俺の知り合いに似ていたもので。
Okay, so that actually sounded like I really was hitting on her. No, I need to stop thinking about that. In any case, I need to ask her something.
君にはマーガレットという名前の知り合いがいないか？
マーガレット。
When she repeats the name, her face seems surprisingly useful. I'd been taken aback by her bizarre speech and actions, but could this girl be younger than me? Her profile simultaneously invokes the image of a pondering philosopher and an innocent girl. I can't figure out how exactly to speak to her. Should I be more polite? I guess that doesn't matter too much. Anyways, worrying about the niceties isn't the most important things right now.
あ、っていうか、まずはお互いの名前か。俺は鳴上優。
失念しておりました。私エリザベスと申します。それといたしましても、このような陳腐&偏僻な場所で思いがけず懐かしい呼び名を耳にしました。
She thinks of this world as a mundane place. That's confusing. Yoshinova may be out in the countryside, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. The girl, Elizabeth, suddenly bows elegantly to me.
あなたのおっしゃる通り、マーガレットとは私の姉の呼び名。つまりあなたはかの部屋のお客様ということでフィニッシュでございますね。
I see. So she's Margaret's sister. That would explain why she reminds me of her.
エリザベスさんか。まあそうなるかもしれないな。確かに俺にはあの部屋を訪れていた時期がある。
You call Margaret and now Elizabeth. It seems there are more people who call that place home than I thought. I think I'm glad I met Margaret last year instead of this girl.
だがベルベットル
Why
ームの
is a
住人
resident
がな
of
ぜ
the
こ
Vel-
こに
Yeah.
もしかしてマーガレットから伝言か何か。
絶賛職務放棄中でございます。
ああ、そう。
That doesn't really tell me much. And I had no response anyways. So what possessed her to come blasting in through the ceiling instead of using the door? I decided not to bother asking her that. I met so many different people over the last year, but trying to have a conversation with this girl is like trying to ride a wild horse. Just going to ignore the direction I'm trying to steer us towards and just veer off wherever she wants. Best to just hold on and go along with the ride then. Maybe if I pay attention, she'll tell me something worth my time. Even if I try to ask her any questions, she'll likely just be confused anyways. Just as I'm having that thought, the girl seems to have noticed my hesitation and starts to talk about herself. Her eyes are lit up with a sincere passion. She really is a hard one to read.
私には願い事があるのです。その成就には長い時が必要かもしれない。私の望みが叶うには今よりもずっと大きな力が必要なのです。絆を力に変えてゆくワイルドの素養。私はそこに鍵があるような気がしております。
ワイルドってものについては確かに知っているが、
私はあの力にこそ私の願いを叶えるためのつっかけがある気がしたのでございます。
つっかけ？
膝っかけ？特会引っかい？まあそんなようなことでございます。
I was having trouble coming up with the right words, but I can hear the sincerity in her speech. Probably. In other words, I think she means that the power of the wild cards is related to her desire and came here. I don't think it's worth it to ask how she knew I had that power or where she found out about it. Just as I'm struggling to follow the meandering path of her conversation, she brings up an outrageous suggestion.
ではこのようにいたしましょう。 私とお手合わせいただきたく存じます。
What? Someone please tell me how she reached the conclusion that this was a good idea. I don't think I have a chance of talking her out of it, though. But of course I have to try, so I say.
私、正直ワクワクしております。期待がマッハ加速でございます。ありていに申し上げれば、私はあなたの中に眠る可能性を見せていただきたいのです。
念のために聞いておくけど、俺の言葉通じてます？幻なんてことは。
あのような小細工、おととい来やがるべきでございます。
そう正気でこれなのか。
Well, maybe she understood what I meant when I mentioned the illusions. If that's so, then she at least must have some idea of what's going on around here. And even though she might understand it, she still wants to fight me. I wonder though, if she's unrelated to General Terry's plans and invited herself into the tournament, do the usual rules apply? As I think about this, Elizabeth's son taps her foot on the ground and takes a fighting posture. She really does want to fight. The huge leather-bound book in her hand opens, as if by itself. A torrent of power pours from the open book with a blue light. I can't believe that this strange girl has such unimaginable power. She seems so aloof. No, it may be more correct to call it an era of imminent violence.
わかったよ。手加減はできないぞ。
To be honest, I was really only saying that in the hopes of bluffing her. I have absolutely no room to hold back in this fight. I hurried cast off my fear and focus on the upcoming battle. There's no room for doubt. I need to hit her with my full strength from the start. Even if I were to fight her with the intent of killing her, I'll be lucky not to end up dead myself. At least that's how I feel. Elizabeth's son calmly begins the battle.
参ります。ドロー、ペルソナカード。
Okay, just gonna take a quick sip. The problem is her persona is death.
Round final. Fight!
恐怖でございます。驚く。かなり飛行を驚く。これはなかなか。驚く。ただいまより電撃でございます。これがなかなか。出血サービス電撃でございます。ドローペルサモン。
Her defeat pose is the best. Just when I thought I'd managed to throw her off balance, Elizabeth's son gets back up elegantly as if nothing just happened. Suddenly I feel an intensity build up in the air. Don't tell me she hasn't been taking this seriously at all up until now. In the next moment I'm swallowed into a torrent of power like a leaf being blown into the air without the slightest understanding of what's happening. My vision blurs as I'm spun about, and before I can tell up from down, the floor jumps towards me, and I'm slammed to the ground. Am I going to lose? As my consciousness fades, I see the faces of my friends and Aki-san, all those I had fought against up until now. It's like that story that you see your life before your eyes, just before you die. Am I dying? Can I really accept that? I fight as much as I have to in order to save my friends. I have to keep fighting. I've come so far, can't lose heart now. I desperately force my legs to move and manage to stand up again. Elizabeth shuts her book with an air of finality.
なるほど、堪能させていただきました。確かに強い力をお持ちのようです。
The unyielding torrent of powers on me cease without warning. Is it over? Even as I come to understand that, I continue to stock still, unable to move.
先ほどのアイギス様との戦いを経て、あなたの体力はすでに限界だったはず。事実、私との戦いの中においても、あなたの心は何度も折れてしまいそうになった。ですが都度、あなたを支える多くの心があなたに力を与え、あなたは立ち上がった。うん。
She cuts herself off and nods to herself, as if to confirm some suspicion.
興味深い戦いでございました。占りの収穫もあったかと存じます。
占り？
鈴なり、猫なり。まあ、ともかく上機嫌でございます。
Even after a battle, she acts like that. I felt like a fool for believing that she really would have killed me, even if it felt quite real at the time. I can't believe any of this. My legs gave out under me, and I sink to the ground. Maybe she understands how I feel. Elizabeth-san looks straight into my eyes.
一つだけお聞かせ願います。望まぬ未来が訪れぬよう戦い続ける。その選択は果てしない困難の童貞。あなたはそれでも歩み続けるのですか？
Margaret had said something similar just before this tournament had begun. How I had overcome the ordeal concerning last year's case and opening the door. Margaret's and Elizabeth-san's word came together in my mind.
そうだな。未来を目指すとは戦うことじゃない。戦い続けるということかもな。
Opening the door is necessary, but it's not what's truly important. What's more important is making sure that you follow the path that's beyond the door. Only once you have that path in mind does it matter whether you're open the door or not. That's how I feel.
戦い続けるさ。望む未来を手に入れるために。
Elizabeth-san smiles. It seems the former dweller of the velvet room is pleased with my answer. She must have chosen a path of her own at some point and is doing everything in her power to see it through. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I feel as if I'm able to understand her a little better now.
では私、そろそろおいとまいたします。不詳、エリザベスでございました。
With this, Elizabeth brusquely walks out of the room. She caused me some trouble, but I've also learned something about myself as well. I think I'll call it a draw. As I wave goodbye to Elizabeth, I hear Agis-san getting to her feet behind me.
私、
無事ですか？無理に動かない方がいい。
I was concerned at first, but Aki-san doesn't seem to be very hurt, or damaged, or whatever you would say. She was likely just knocked out. I had absolutely no chance of winning if I had gone easy on her either. This is getting ridiculous.
あなたは優しいですね。まだ会って間もない。それも機械の私を心配してくださるなんて。
別に普通のことじゃないのか。
Aki-san laughed at my confusion.
ほら、そういう顔。なんていうか、機械って気がしないんだ。あなたには心があるんだろう。だったら、人間か機械かなんて関係ない。
Aki-san stops laughing and thinks deeply for a moment. But after a few seconds, she looks back up at me with a serious look in her eyes.
私はあなたとの戦いに敗れました。つまり、容易にこの先へは進めないということです。でもあなたになら、私の思いを託せるかもしれない。
I have no reason to say no. I looked Aki-san square in the eyes and nodded reassuringly. Okay, why is Stream Elements going haywire? And so, Aki-san told me about her directive, and it was truly surprising. There was another case involving personas and shadows outside of Inaba even before our adventure last year. And she is a weapon with the heart, created with the express purpose of wielding a persona to fight the shadows. She believed that this current situation came to be because someone had stolen a similar weapon and caused it to enter the TV world.
つまり、あなたと同じ少女型で心を持った、そういう存在がもう一人いて、それが原因だと。
私たちは彼女の回収のためにこの世界を訪れました。いえ、対シャドウ特別制圧兵装5式ラビリスは今もこの世界にいるのです。
Nanako, Miss President, her shadow, and now Labrys. I have a mountain of tasks to accomplish now. But even though I have a lot to do, I can't ignore any of it.
ラビリスの特徴を教えてくれ。できる限り回収に協力するよ。
それが。
Aki's expression clouds. She said that she was a machine, but she really is no different from a human. As I ponder this, I listen to what she has to say. It's discouraging.
容姿や性能、搭載された装備については不明か。
Basically, all she can tell me is that Labrys is a robot who's built to look like a girl. Wait a second. I did meet a girl I didn't know in the TV world. Miss President. Could Miss President be Labrys?
あなたより、見た目が人間らしい可能性はないのか。先ほど姉だと言っていたので、勝手に先に作られたものと思っていたが。
姉は旧世代機。厳密にはテストベッドでした。容姿が私より人間に近いことはほとんどないと思います。
Then there's no way Miss President could be Labrys. I could tell at first glance that Aki-san was a machine. Miss President appeared to be completely human. I never once considered that she might not be human until just now. But that just makes things even more complicated. What in the world is going on inside this TV?
わかった。とにかく探してみよう。どちらにしても俺は放送室へ向かう。この事件がラビリスのせいで起きているなら、嫌でも最後には見つけることになるさ。
I shrugged slightly. I don't want to be so grave. August-san must sense what I'm trying to do and smiles.
すみません。姉をよろしくお願いします。
Of course. I gave August-san a determined nod and ran out of the classroom. Oh man, what a busy golden week. I have to make sure Nanako's okay, find Miss President, unmask whoever masquerading as Teddy, and now search for Labrys somewhere in here. If this wasn't happening, I'd be kicking it with my friends at the June's food court. Yukiko was trying to be coy, but I'm pretty sure the big bundle she was carrying was a box lunch she'd made for us. As to how it might taste, well, let's not get sidetracked. I'm sure we'd all have enjoyed it anyways. Eventually I would have called Nanako over and we would have brought some snacks together. There were things I wanted to buy from the Shiroku store, and maybe I could have made it to Sozai Daigaku in time to buy the last of their special croissants. I wanted to talk with the owner of Daidara and get some books from the Yomen Naido bookstore. I'd have had a steak bowl at Aya, hang out with the fox at the Tatsuhime shrine, waiting for my uncle so we could have dinner, and tomorrow I'd have gone fishing. If the one who ruined my vacation and caused all these problems is the same person who stole Labrys, and if they've truly brought Nanako back into the TV world.
許せ
As I ran on, I came across yet another blue door. Perhaps it's a sign that I need to calm down. True, I may have lost my cool for a
今
moment.
回はよく呼ばれるな
I reached towards the door with a relaxed smile. Margaret's in her usual position. I glance around to see if there's anyone else in here. It looks like her nutcase of a sister is in here. Margaret notices me looking and sighs, a seductive sound that also conveys annoyance.
どうやら妹がご迷惑をおかけしたようね。でもあなたの持つ可能性の光に惹かれたのは一人だけではなかったということかしら。
There's a hint of tenderness towards her sister in her words. Her sister must be important to her. I can tell from the look on her face. Do I look like that when I talk about Nanako? Margaret pulls herself together and speaks again.
幾多の迷いやささやきを乗り越えてあなたは新しい覚悟を得た。
New resolve? I find myself nodding along.
真実の扉にあなたは手をかけた。でも人の心は移ろうもの。だから人には一度の勝ち負けではない戦い続ける覚悟が必要なの。
ああ、分かっている。
でもそれは生涯終わらぬ辛い戦いよ。
The way she puts it makes it seem as if she was testing me. I don't respond immediately and think about the question. It would be lying if to say that I'm not worried. I know that my heart can be swayed by change. There's no knowing what will happen from moment to moment. But even then,
仲間がいれば一人じゃなければ大丈夫だ。
そう。
Margaret nods slightly in response.
あなたの答え、確かに聞かせてもらったわ。でもまだ足りない。前にも話したでしょ。千の言葉よりも一つの行動に心は震えると。
As she smiles, my vision begins to blur. I hear words being repeated. I've reached the threshold of truth. Everything that happened during the course of this case runs through my mind. The new appearance of the TV world, this tournament pitting us against each other, the soon council president, a fake Teddy. My encounter with the weapon with the heart, Agi-san, searching for her sister, Labrys, and the determination that I've gained through these constant battles. What I must accomplish. How do I show what I've decided through my actions? It seems that the number of invisible walls has decreased. Does this mean that the end is near? Just as I think that, I hear a familiar voice.
いい加減にしいや。
That was Miss President's voice. It was coming from the door to the announcement room. I finally made it. I opened the door to the announcement room and rushed inside.
おやー、ようやく来たくまね。いらっしゃい先生。コングラチュレーション。P1 グランプリ優勝のご感想は？
General smirks at me as I pass through the door. Behind him, Miss President and Rise. When the two of them see me, Miss President looks confused while Rise's face lights up with joy.
あんた、なんで？先輩、来てくれたんだ。遅いよ。
I have to stay cautious of the general, but I signal to the girls that everything will be alright now. The general is closer to them than I am. I can't afford to make any reckless moves just yet. And there's one more thing I need to know.
クマ、Nanako はどこだ？
I look around the announcement room, but Nanako is nowhere to be found. The general's face distorts with an ugly glee.
ナナちゃんならここにいるクマよ。
Slowly the general extends the arm that was held behind him. And there was Nanako. Her arms are clenched to her chest and she'll look as she slowly takes a few steps towards me, obviously frightened.
Nanako!
After taking a step forward, I noticed something bizarre. General disappeared. For a brief instant, my full attention had been focused on Nanako. General had been standing directly behind her, but now he's gone. How could he have gone somewhere else that quickly right in front of me without me noticing it?
お兄ちゃん。
While I'm confused about the general's disappearance, Nanako weakly calls to me. Being in the TV world has obviously taken a toll on her. She totters towards me steadily, looking ready to collapse at any moment. I can think about the general later. I have to save Nanako right now. They reach out to her, Rise yells.
先輩、ダメ。そこにはナナコちゃんなんていないよ。
Nanako's not here? What is she saying? She's right there. Right here. Just as I'm about to say so, my hand stops. Something's not right. I tried to look into Nanako's face once more. and in her eyes I saw madness.
惜しかったクマね。もうちょいで先生おだぶつだったのに。
貴様。
I barely reached it in time to draw my swords to block the attack. The general suddenly appeared out of nowhere to attack me with his cane, and I get a good look at him as our weapons clash together. I see the madness in his face, the same madness that I've seen in Nanako's only a moment before. That's when I noticed that Nanako has disappeared. What's going on?
違うよ先輩。そこには最初からそいつしかいない。そいつは自分の姿を他の者に見せる性質を持ってるの。
自分の姿を他の者に見せる。
あいつは先輩たちの見たり聞いたりする力を自分の思い通りに歪めることができるの。
That's right, the enemy is able to control what I see and hear. I'd realized that after all the battles I've had today, but seeing Nanako made me forget all that. The general laughs at this.
私の力じゃいない人を見せるのは難しいのに、マジにナナコって子が見えちゃったの？あんたよっぽどね。からかい半分だったのに。
It's like how my friends haven't actually gone crazy before our fights. Nanako had never been brought into this world in the first place. Their appearance before me is a fake. He distorts our senses all to make us suffer. But just as I thought, he couldn't deceive Risei's persona's abilities. That's why he kidnapped her, to keep her from warning us during his tournaments. Now that I know that, I push the general's cane away and jump back towards the girls in order to distance myself from him. Good, now I'm between them and the general. I then look straight at the one behind this bizarre situation.
お前は一体何者なんだ？
まだわかんないの？たっく、おバカがガン首揃えてゾロゾロと。いいよ、私が誰だかじっくり見ればいい。
Oh, that's good, cutest. I'm about to finish the last boss for the story.
真なる我。
うちと同じ顔。
I saw her metal limbs, golden eyes, a ponytail, and a mirror image of Miss President's face, even though she was standing before me, trembling.
ほらどう？見たかったんでしょ、私の正体。
なんでうちに化けるんよ。違うよ、あれがあいつの本当の姿。あれはあなたのシャドウなの。これがシャドウ。ほんまにうちから出たん
Risei tries to calm Miss President, but the girl shakes her head in denial and squeezes her eyes shut. While Miss President refused to look at this mechanical-looking being, I now understand what is going on. Because this isn't the first time I've seen a robotic girl before. All the facts match up. The way she was able to run so fast without so much as breathing heavily, even in the TV world. The sense of wrongness that I'd had when Miss prison and had asked me about killing my friends. The way she avoided telling me her name, the superhuman strength when she hit Chie, and that incredible jump to get away from us, and the Shadow's ability to interfere with the senses of other people. That's okay, Pecutius. Obviously there's a lot of like stuff that I need to work on myself. It's been like a very long stream. Yeah. So my voice is starting to like fade. And the Shadow's ability to, just as Margaret had said, all the pieces of the puzzles were laid out before me. They all came together and now I can see the truth. She is indeed Labrys. Labrys, another weapon with a heart, stolen by someone unknown and thrown into the TV world, created this world and forced us to fight our friends. This deep-rooted depression regarding her past memories, all of this took the form of Labrys' shadow, who manipulated everything here.
Labrys, 目をそらすな。受け入れなければ、奴の力はさらに強くなる。
His press, Labrys, only shivers when I call out to her. This has to be some reason why she believed that she was the assumed council president. But that's just a disguise more for herself than for us, no matter how comfortable it is. It's only there to cloud her eyes from the truth.
君にどんな過去があったのかは知らない。おそらく、それは辛い記憶だろう。だが今の君には俺たちがいる。必ず君を、ここから救い出してみせる。
I call out to Labrys while keeping an eye on the shadow. The shadow is the darkness within a person's heart. Unless it is accepted by the person it came from, it will never disappear for good. But with that in mind, all we can do is watch over her as she accepts the darkness within her. We'll have to protect her when the shadow goes berserk and tries to kill her. But Labrys continues to shake her head and tremble violently. My words aren't getting through to her.
ほら私、お友達が何か言ってるよ。
Thank you.
でもさ、全然わかってないよね。この連中、脳みそまでおめでたいやつばっかり。
Shadow laughs shrilly. Continues to smear more poison into Labrys' heart.
本当はこいつらにも味合わせてやりたかった。仲間同士で殺し合う苦しみを。悲しい、辛い、苦しい。目の前が真っ暗になって、いつでも私は一人きりだった。私は兵器、戦うためだけに存在するただの人形よ。人間になんて私の苦しみがわかるものか。
やめて、もうたくさんや。うちは人間や。そうなんとちゃう。
This isn't good. I settle into a fighting stance ready for anything, though I have a good idea what's going to happen.
まだそんなの言ってるの？だったら見てみなよ。あんたの本当の姿をさ。
The shadow eyes gleam with golden lights. The change begins immediately. A shimmer runs across Labrys' body, and instead of the normal human girl that had been a moment ago, she has a metallic body, just like her shadow. Labrys loses all composure and scratches at her arm, trying to tear away the metal that had appeared. But there was more to her change than just her arms. Her legs, waist, chest, even her head Everything not covered by her clothing was now obviously mechanical. The reality that she didn't want to face. There are no words we can say to her. No matter what we say, reality won't change. Labrys falls to her knees, and finally mutters the words I was dreading she'd say. Yeah. Oh. I guess that's your, Yep, there's the sub. Yep, buzzing noises, because that was actually the glitch, her thing glitching. Sorry. There's to be continued sign on there, so I have to go through the rest of them. But, that was the original Persona 4 Arena story. With Yu Norokami. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Sorry for the static sound at the end. It's part of the game. Thank you for coming, Cutelius. Thank you for coming, Thursday. Hopefully I can get myself a stream schedule, set up. And I hope you will be able to join next time. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!